Bren Chong Cup is back with an incomparable prize pool of $40,000 and open to everyone. The competition will be divided into 4 regions: North America, Asia, Latin America and Europe, and also in 4 stages. The second will be the regional group stage. Starting on January 9, the 16 players from each region coming from the qualifiers will advance to the group stage, where they will test their potential against 16 players from the Clash Royale Elite. These 32 players from each region will be divided into 4 groups of 8, and in a round-robin format, they will fight to advance to Phase 3. The regional finals will take place from January 28 to 31 and will feature the 16 best classified from each continent. A single elimination bracket will determine the 3 representatives of each region. We will have a world final of the Bren Chong Cup for the first time, where it will be decided who is the best player on the planet. We will have live streamings in many languages: English, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, German. In short, that all of you will be able to follow the action. To follow all what happens in the competition, keep an eye on the Revel IMAR social networks and the Appgrade application. Thank Bren Chong for sponsoring this competition and making this event possible. Bren Chong Cup 2. Get ready for the show.
Get ready indeed, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Bren Chong Cup 2, Day 3 in the North American region. It's the day that you've all been waiting for. The day the chat has been waiting for. The day everyone has been waiting for. It's the debut of the best named player in all of Clash Royale, Greg. How long can I hold that, you think? Guys, I'm really excited for today. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We are in Day 3 of the North American regional action here at the $40,000 Bren Chong Cup 2. 4 of the 8 players you see today will move on to their regional championship, to their regional final. The remainder will be out, but those 4 will move on with a chance to win not only a piece of that prize pool, but to move on and become one of the final 12 for the World Championship. We do have a lot of players, of course, that we're going to be seeing today, and we'll be going through those players as we go through the event, and we'll be talking about each and every one of them here in just a couple of moments. If you haven't yet and you do want to follow along outside of this stream all by itself, here's the link in the chat for Appgrade, where you can get from that link both the iOS and Android version of the app, and we'll be seeing some of the Appgrade app here on stream in just a moment, but that app is how you follow along with all of the info, with the schedules, with the tables, with the results, all of that available right there. Also, you can get all those right here by watching. And what's the best way to watch? Well, as a subscriber, let's go ahead and take a look at our groups on the day. And Group C, with a player who's been requested a lot, Boss, probably one of the most requested players to see in North America. He makes his debut in Bren Chong Cup today. Razzer from Team Liquid, Complexity, all over in CRL. Magma, StarWars, Dom Daniel, Chris Lava, Eternity, and there you have him, the big name himself, Greg, rounding out the group here. I am absolutely pumped to see Greg, who qualified from one of my open qualifiers for this event. So as you can see, there's a lot of different flags represented today, probably one of the more diverse groups in the North American region, and I'm very, very excited to see the action as they all bring it through today. And I believe we're kicking things off here with Razzer versus Chris Lava. Maybe I could be wrong there. Actually, let me go take a look at the schedule. Boss versus Greg. Oh my gosh. The marquee matchup is our first match of the day. Boss, who half of you want to see, and Greg, who half of you want to see. So everyone wants to see our first matchup on the day, and I'm super pumped for it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, guys, and right here is where it happens. Subscribe link in the chat. If you haven't yet, sub to the channel, because this is the home for both the North American and EU region for the Bren Chong Cup 2, also the regional finals, also the World Finals, which will be sometime in the middle of February. I think the 12th to the 14th is for those World Finals, where we will award that grand prize of $15,000 to the overall winner of this event. That's a lot of change for somebody. Of course, if you do want to follow along with the Asian region action or LATAM, Asia already finished. Most of the videos are already up on this channel as well, but I'll be posting the rest of those here fairly soon. Day 7 and 8 will be coming out very soon on this channel as well. If you want to watch LATAM, which happens later in the day after this broadcast, about an hour or so after we're done here with North America, Latin America kicks off live on twitch.tv/Cashman, K-A-S-H-M-A-N. There's the link in the chat. Also, Cashman's link is in the description of this video if you want to find the live events for those LATAM videos. And of course, Cashman has been generous enough to share the video replays of both the Asia region and LATAM region here on YouTube for those of you who don't have Twitch access. So thanks for being here for all of it, and I'm excited to kick things off today and also for you guys to come on this journey of Clash Royale. We're getting close to the end of these regional competitions. This is day 3 of both NA and Latin America, 8 total days in this region, in every regional competition. As of after tomorrow, we will be through the first half of group stage play. Each player will have played 3 or 4 of their total matches. Once we reach the end of this 8-day run, in about 5 days' time, then we'll move on to our regional finals, where players will be the top 16 players from each region will be in a competition to see who can get the $1,000 prize winner for first place in the regional competition. And of course, the top 3 from each region go on to that 12-player finals. So here you go. Take a look at the Appgrade app, some of the matchups that we have today. Appgrade also allows you to follow along, of course, with scores, results, things like that, but also to vote on who you think is going to win each individual match. So if you want to get a little bit, you want to get in the game a bit more, that's the great place to do it. Let's take a look at the chat here and see who's chiming in. I think someone said Yo RF, so it might be that one of the best players in the history of the U.S., the God RF, I think he might have jumped on in here. A lot of people, RF, I believe his retirement is going to stick, but I know a lot of you are hoping one day he'll pick up the phone again. We'll see if that ever does happen. But for now, it's up to one of the new guys in the Stars and Stripes that maybe carry the torch for the USA going forward. Bought Fisherman Friends because of you. Regretted it. Did help my throat, though, after it burned to death. LOL. Bunny, yeah. Fisherman's Friend is my go-to for throat work. So if your throat's tickling a little bit, yeah. I mean, I have my open bag right here of the Fisherman's Friend. This is what I use as a professional caster. You can see my green screen cut off right there. This is what I use as a professional caster to make sure my throat can make it through what is now going to be day 12, almost in a row, with like one day off of casting competitive Clash Royale. So, oh, well, there's someone's iPad. That's fun. Let's come back out here for a second. High hopes for Boss, says Russian BMX crew. Yeah, Boss is definitely one of the more popular players here and a very, very high-level content creator. People really like him a lot. Prayers for Madrid, says Sam Greenberg. Yeah, did something new happen today? I know they've had the blizzards over there as well. My prediction for winner of this group, Greg. It's all Greg. Greg is my guy. I am typically an unbiased caster, but when you have a name as powerful, as iconic, as as effusive as Greg. Is effusive even the correct word to use there? It is when you're talking about Greg. Greg's my guy. I'm backing him top to bottom. So we're going for full Greg. If Greg's name wasn't Greg, would you still like him? What if his name was like, I don't know, Ghost Slayer 235? No, it's the name. I mean, also he has the best picture here too. But Greg is fire. So I'm pretty excited about it. Is Boss going to play, Rich? Yes, today Boss is in. The players in this group, one more time, Boss, Razzer, Magma, StarWars, Daniel, Chris Hart, Lava, Eternity, and Greg. So that's our 8 players today. You'll be seeing all 8 of those today, and I'm excited to show you all of them. And let's see. The first match is going to be Boss and Greg, and we'll be starting that here in just about a minute or 2 as I'm looking at the timing. Is this Greg's first competitive tournament? I think so. Possibly. I have no idea. All I know is that he's Greg, and we're excited for Greg. There you go. Sorry, Rich, you wrong, says Nicholas Colton. Sure. Yeah, people that I don't know who out here, how you guys feel about Greg, but I'll tell you one thing. I feel pretty darn good about him. Igor for president, says Kazubi. President of what? Okay. Where is Sandy? She'll be here eventually, I'm assuming. When does AC play? AC plays tomorrow in Group D. So Group D action kicks off tomorrow. Now we'll talk about that group later. Right now, let's open up our first match. Boss against Greg. Let's go. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. So Boss setting up with Goblin Cage. Greg splitting archers, bowler behind. Greg's personal best on ladder, 7,048. Which I think 7,000 is the true... 7K feels like it's the marker of where you go from... is where you cross over into good, right? Right about 7K. Of course, Boss, 8.4, 8,405, his personal best on ladder. So, maybe a little bit better in terms of that overall ladder positioning. Boss's best finish is 5th on ladder, and of course, if he can replicate some of those here in 2021, it could be a pretty good CRL for him. Bowler and Giant. So is this GY here for Greg? Very interesting. Looking like Electro Giant most likely for Boss. Could be Graveyard, but probably going to be Electro Giant when we see the Dark Prince mixed in there as well. What's Greg's game name? It's Greg. Look up top. An Electro Giant does get across. Barb's working against the big guy, and Boss going to get a good healthy counter push behind that. And Greg going to use arrows there, so I'm wondering if Greg had a copy deck glitch or what happened here, because this is an interesting deck. Giant, Bowler, Barbs, triple spell. You know what? If Greg's playing it, I got to believe in it. You know what I mean? Giant sets up to the right-hand side, first minute away, and so far, Boss pretty firmly in control. I think part of that might be he's playing a deck that does things, whereas Greg's playing something unique. Let's put it that way. Ice Wiz to help clean up here on the back end. 41 seconds left, and looking like Boss is probably going to run away with this one. Zap, log, arrows. I wonder if Greg was going for a snipe here of some sort with this. Gino saying that Greg tweeted he was going to run troll decks, but you thought he was kidding. Well, this certainly would fall in the category of troll decks. I think this was Boss's original deck, says Renegade in the chat. Is this the first game? Yes, Cornelius, this is game number 1 on the day. And this is going to be game number 1 and one very easy win for Boss. And Boss kind of smiling there with that one. GG, well played. Pretty easy win there for the Boss man. So we'll be back with game number 2 fairly soon. That's Boss's old school ladder deck. Very fun. Yeah, a lot of people talking about that one. Very fun. All right. Well, Greg is certainly bringing out the entertainment value so far. Boss probably needs no introduction for many of you, but Boss has been around for a long time, top-tier content creator. And again, it says it before, 8.4K player, played for TTG in CRL East this last season, and definitely one of the favorites to move forward in this group and perform fairly well out of the North American region. Literally a free win, says Lewis McCormick. I think he was trolling here with that deck. And let's see. Sorry Boy asking, why would you play troll decks in this sort of tournament? You know, it might be that Greg just feels that he has no chance of making the prize pool, so why not have some fun? Not entirely sure, but we'll see. You going to have AC back on for commentary? We had him yesterday, Jared. I don't think he'll be here today, but he'll be in and out as time goes on. Today, though, unless someone pops up who I want to jump in on the chat, it's going to be just me, at least for the moment. So I hope you don't get too tired of my voice. I know I never do. Let's go back into the gameplay. So let's see what Greg throws out here in game number 2. An Ice Wizard. That's a good start. Mobile gaming with King. You want cash, man? Well, there's his link. Go ahead and watch him for LATAM later today. Dark Prince in the left-hand lane. Flying Machine in response to the Ice Wiz and the Dark Prince and Electro Spirit to slow all that down. Who's my favorite to win the whole tournament? All of us for getting to watch it. Fireball on the Princess. Flying Machine does connect. An early lead here in game number 2 for Boss. And Pump. Well, Greg's having fun out here. Let's put it that way. Double Prince. It's a royal deck here. Double Prince, Princess with Pump. Zappy's in the middle for the Princes. And now Greg sets up Princess in the far right corner. And Ice Wiz to the far left corner. This is Anaban's old deck, says Lucas. And another Pump set up here for Greg. Let's see if he does something. And it sets up P.E.K.K.A. in the back. So a lot of interesting choices here for Greg. And Dark Prince behind the P.E.K.K.A. to put Mama on roller skates. We'll see if she can go anywhere. Going to get through those Roombas going to the left-hand side. Classic Prince behind. And Greg just throwing everything into one lane. Recruits come out in response for Boss. Princess will work on the pressure on the right-hand side. And this big push is starting to make a little bit of headway on the left-hand side. Dark Prince and Prince both will connect. Freeze comes in. Is this enough to get that tower down? Arrows will not clear out the entire defense. But Greg does have the lead with 33 seconds left in regulation time. Princess at the bridge, protected by the Ice Wiz. Fireball comes out, gets a lot of value there on troops. 497 remaining as Boss sets up for his next push. Probably will go Pigs to the right now that 7 just got pushed into the left, but we'll see. And now Dark Prince behind the P.E.K.K.A. left-hand side. We're going to the sudden death overtime, 957 to 497. And Greg definitely going for entertainment value as his #1 priority. Will that entertainment value pay off in a win here, though, in game number 2 and send us to game 3? We'll find out. P.E.K.K.A. picks up the Flying Machine, and Ice Wiz will help take the Ceiling Fan off the board. Now pressure on the right-hand lane with the Dark Prince. Zappies and Electro Spirit come out, and the Electro Spirit does get to that Princess. P.E.K.K.A. getting turned left and right here with 90 seconds remaining in sudden death overtime. Flying Machine does connect. Hogs down on the left-hand side. Fireball to make a little bit of room here, and that might be tower down. Freeze comes out defensively. Greg keeping himself on his feet for the moment, but it feels like momentum now shifting very, very heavily towards Boss. Pigs into the left-hand side. Mama P.E.K.K.A. down. Not going to be that helpful here. Fireball comes in. That's going to be it. GG. Well played. And Boss takes the 2-0 win. And you can see the facial expressions. Not the match he anticipated having here with $40,000 on the line, but happy to take that match 1 victory today is the American Star Boss. And a GG. Well played. Thumbs up for Boss. Thumbs down for Greg. And you know what? At least it was a fun way to start off the day. Let's put it that way. Boss is winning the whole group, says Cornelius Merritz. Distinctive possibility. Only in this group, I only know Razzer. Razzer is certainly one of the bigger names, one of the bigger talents here in this group. Magma and StarWars both have had some pretty solid performances on the international stage. More on them as we get into their matchups. But yeah, I mean, Boss and Razzer probably are the 2 biggest names in this group for sure. Can't wait to see more of Greg's matches. So far, guys, we've had someone every single day who comes out and plays weird stuff. Yesterday, it was Bag all over the place. Before that, in the EU region, Azelis. We've had a lot of players coming out and doing some interesting things here. But so far, Greg probably taking the cake of the strangest things so far. Elliot Krantz, check your clan chat. You have a notification. Not my clan chat. This is actually coming straight from the production booth in Madrid in the team house for Team Queso. So, yeah, you can all those things you're hearing, nothing to do with me. Here we go, jumping into our second match on the day. Daniel on one side and StarWars on the other. StarWars also playing on the face cams here. Daniel out of the Dominican Republic. Personal best on ladder. I think it's actual. Let's see if his ladder account is still active. 7.454. Or 7,454 is Daniel's personal best on ladder. So not too bad at all. Has played in some smaller esports events, but this is certainly the biggest stage he's played on. Mega Knight and Prince Connect on the right-hand side. And that's going to be a whole lot of damage. The Lava Hound not doing much here for StarWars, who's known as a lava player and might have gotten caught with this one. StarWars, of course, did make it to Stage 3 of the No Tilt World Championship. Probably his biggest moment to date. Lots of success also in Super League Gaming's national live events that I used to cast for back in 2018 and some in 2019 as well. StarWars does have a ton more competitive experience here, but not paying off thus far in game number 1 here against Daniel. Sam Greenberg, as one of Greg's clanmates, saying Boss BM Greg when they faced each other in the past. That's why Greg was BMing. Fun. And Daniel getting caught in that weird decision-making process, right? Do you let the tower trade happen, or do you defend? And he does have a lot of damage on that right-hand tower. But certainly an interesting choice there to kind of do a little bit of both. I understand the desire, though, not to let that Lava Hound run rampant on the left-hand side and do some real damage onto that King Tower, but HP is a resource, and it felt like Daniel wasn't quite willing to spend it in that moment. And now with 30 seconds left, that 547 looking further and further away as that Lava Hound works on the right-hand side. Miner goes directly to the Musketeer. Prince protects the Muskie fairly nicely. Fireball in, but arrows in response. This Prince should not connect, and it doesn't. And StarWars sets up. Daniel really can't spell cycle here. He really can't throw zaps and arrows and just spell cycle. So he has to connect or defend very, very pristinely here over the next 2 minutes. I'll be curious to see how he makes that choice between defending and actually doing damage. Arrows do come out at the right time, but take a look at this. In the last 60 seconds or so, Daniel's put nothing on that King Tower, and StarWars continues to chip away at that right-hand side. Daniel goes Mega Knight aggressive across the bridge, Prince behind. And goes back to that same far corner here for some more tower damage. This is very important tower damage for him to get right now. Wall breakers in. Arrows to predict something, and there you go. They do connect, so StarWars unable to hold on here in game number 1. GG, well played. Greg saying in the chat, can't believe Boss didn't want to run a mirror of his OG deck. Well, Greg, hey, we're enjoying having seen some different things. Let's put it that way. We'll see if other kind of strange stuff you pull out as the time goes on today. Let me take a look at the chat here for a moment. When is Greg playing again? Good question. Greg will be playing again today at in 4 matches against Eternity. That's when we'll see Greg back in the mix. Is B-Rad playing? No, B-Rad does not compete anymore. He's just a content creator. But if you want to see B-Rad, he has a YouTube channel and everything, from what I've been told. Lots of people like it, too. So I go check that out. Let's see. More chat from here. A lot of people, everyone knows really more about what happened about Greg's gameplay. Here we go into game number 2. Daniel in the lead. And StarWars, looks like he's running Graveyard here. Ban is Minor. And Daniel looking like he's going Balloon in this case. Although this deck usually runs, maybe not Balloon, might be Graveyard then, because typically the Giant Skeleton Balloon deck runs Minor as well. So more likely this is either a Graveyard variant. There was a very popular Graveyard variant that ran Giant Skeleton back in 2019. We'll see as we go deeper into this one, and maybe it is just a Lumberloon deck with Giant Skeleton. Mortar up high for StarWars. And there we go. First Graveyard in. Cannon Cart does get into tanking range here. Does not connect on tower because of the Giant Skeleton, but the damage already done. Tanks for the GY, and that is an immediate tower down. StarWars completely blowing that moment out of the water. Daniel fighting from behind in what should be a relatively difficult situation. Snowball, Spears, and Mortar, not to mention the Hunter, all for what we presume is the Balloon. We should be going to game number 3 here, barring a big mistake by StarWars. And for those of you just joining us, coming here from within the Clash Royale app, this is the Bren Chong Cup 2, the $40,000 prize pool event sponsored by Bren Chong and Supercell. 4 groups of 32 from around the world, all competing in our current stage and our second phase of the tournament. The top 16 from each group will move on to the regional finals. And the top 3 from each region will move on to our grand finals, our world finals, where the bulk of that prize money will be on the line. Cannon Cart sets up to the left-hand lane for StarWars, and at this point, it's just how long it takes us to get to the end. And that's going to be a GG, well played. We're going to game number 3. Good recovery by StarWars after a rough outing in game number 1. Daniel just let that Cannon Cart get a little bit too close, and that Graveyard completely overwhelmed the right-hand side. We're going to game number 3. And hi, everybody. Good to see you one more time. Hope you're all doing well on this wonderful Wednesday. That's what the people want Greg all day. Yeah, Greg's a big fan, a big personality here in the stream. Greg versus Greg, commentated by Greg, says David Lamelza. I like it. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Now, here's the question. Are we cloning Greg and it's 2 Gregs playing and the 3rd Greg commentating? Or is Greg 2-boxing while commentating his game? Right? That's an important question. Ali saying I'm a big fan. Rich, oh, thank you very much, Ali. Do really appreciate that, guys. Guys, like me or not, subscribe to my channel. How about that one? This is the place for the Bren Chong Cup 2, as well as a bunch of other Clash Royale-related content for CRL. Some of that will be available here. That's been in the past, and more of it coming in the future. And, of course, general Clash Royale competitive content all around the season. What's my favorite deck? Cole Morton. Right now I'm playing Minor Wall Breakers. That's what I'm playing. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3. Vishal, Rich, I heard you make some awesome shawarma. I make very good shawarma. I make a solid korma sauce for the Indian viewers out there. My korma is shockingly good. So there you go. So looking like a bridge spam variant here from StarWars. And Daniel might be going with a different balloon variant here. Cannon Cart does not connect because of that tornado. And it still does after the tornado. Oh my word, what a miscalculation by Daniel. The EWIZ did not let enough damage get in to take that Cannon Cart off the wheels. And now StarWars way ahead in damage and in elixir as we go into the next 2 minutes of gameplay. You know, we were talking yesterday, and AC was saying about how OP he thinks Tornado is. But the penchant for Tornado errors, now that was maybe a bit more egregious one than we're used to, but even in CRL, we see high-level pros making mistakes with Tornado. And there we go. In the beginning, Greg created the Earth, says Mali, then went back to playing CR. Sounds about right. Bowler sets up on the right, cannon cart immediately to the left, and that's going to connect. StarWars so far abusing these cannon carts, that's for sure. Rich, you do a good butter chicken. I do all right with chicken. I'm better with salmon. Lumberjack, Bowler, and Balloon to the right-hand side. Ram Rider comes and sticks that balloon way up high. Fireball to help. Freeze. Will it last long enough, or does that Ram Rider come back alive? And she does. Balloon gets nowhere. Bandit connects on the left-hand side. And right now, StarWars putting a ton of pressure on Daniel. Does Greg still have a chance to move on? Yeah. He's only been through one match, guys. Ram Rider to the left-hand side. Bar Barrel in front. And the defensive freeze comes out as the only option here. Magic Archer lines up with the Lumberjack. And that was pure dominance out of StarWars here in game number 3. StarWars takes his first match of the day, gives us the let's go, and takes one step closer to that big, big, big prize pool. And I see someone in the chat saying that he thinks that you think you're better than these players. Well, here's the cool thing about that, 74, is that this year there are tons of chances for you to compete. So if you're watching right now, whether you're watching video on demand, watching live, and you go, I'm as good or better than these guys, why can't I play? Well, you can. That's the cool part. Events like this one had open qualifiers, and events like this throughout the year will have open qualifiers. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can also follow Revel Amor on Twitter for more information. Also, the open qualifiers were listed inside the Clash Royale app, so if you missed them, oh well. But there was an open chance for anybody to be in this tournament. In fact, half the field. In each region, 16 players from each region. 64 of the total players made it here through open qualifiers. And that could be you next time. So make sure you check that out. Also, as I'll link in the chat one more time, the link to the CRL 2021 information. CRL is open to everybody. Make it top 1,000 ladder at the end of the season, you're in CRL. So go ahead, put your money where your mouth is, and show how much you can succeed here. And of course, yes, CRL has a $1.6 million prize pool. Go ahead and get it. So this is, if you guys are wondering who the heck Han the Eternal is, Han the Eternal is the Turkish player Eternity, who's definitely one of the better players out of Turkey overall. My guess is that this is his mini account that he uses for competitive purposes. And Eternity, though, is an 8.1K player, 8,110, his personal best on ladder, with his overall best finish as 5th. On top of that, Eternity, a.k.a. Han the Eternal, has represented his country in the No-Tilt Worlds, played in a lot of the big semi-pro competitions, including the Clash Contender Series, where he performed very well with Team Liquid Academy. They took 2nd overall in the World Finals for that event. But so far, struggling here in the opening against longtime CRL pro, formerly of Complexity. Of course, now you can see sporting that Team Liquid jersey, Razzer, out to a very big early lead. Graveyard, Goblin Giant Sparky to the right-hand side. Zappy's a little bit low here. Can they turn and get onto that Sparky? I don't think so. Razzer may be being a little bit loose there with the Zappy play. Still holding on here with Under a minute left in regulation time. And now balloon to the right-hand side as that Hunter is getting absorbed in the opposite direction. This should be enough for a connection here as well. Snowball turns the balloon away, and it does, though, barely connect. Also, Recruit's working on the right-hand side. Goblin Giant making a beeline for that right-hand tower, but the Fisherman, no, gets distracted by the Dark Prince. This could be, might be, nope. Fisherman does finally get in. Right-hand tower does hold on. 4:07 remaining with 13 seconds left. Now 10 seconds left, and the good game being called by Eternity, a.k.a. Han the Eternal. GG, well played. Razzer takes game number 1 in his Bren Chong Cup campaign. Let's see. Cheesecake's in the chat. The guy who said that has a number 8 finish, LOL, he's better than 80% of them. Well, then do it again. There you go. If you're that good, there's no reason why you shouldn't be here. That's the fun part. There are open qualifiers that are promoted in-app and also available on mentioned on Twitter. Not to mention CRL 2021 is just is if you finish top 1,000 ladder. So if you have a number 8 finish on ladder, then yeah, you're in. Go ahead and do it again this season, and then I'll be commentating your matches during CRL during the big game broadcast. So yeah, anybody out there who thinks you're good enough. Here's the fun thing about 2021, right? Is that in the past with CRL or big competitions, you could be like, well, I didn't know the right people, or I wasn't big enough and famous enough to get in an invite. Well, the invites that this season, it's just about, this year, 2021, it's about, do you got game? If you got game, you got opportunities. So yeah, I'm excited to see if someone in the chat has a number 8 finish. I'll see you in CRL this year. Let's go ahead and continue. Game number 2, Razzer with the lead, Giant Skeleton the ban for Eternity, a.k.a. Han the Eternal. Steven saying, can I be a broadcaster? Yeah, go do it. Lumberjack to the left-hand lane, Royal Giant right behind. And Eternity now putting a pretty aggressive push here with the Eva's behind. It's going to be, I don't think this will take tower here. Maybe it will. No, Hunter does come down in time there to stop that, but a ton of damage anyway for Eternity in the opening moments. Baby Dragon on the left-hand side. And the chat seems to be popping off here. Not sure what everyone's going off about, left and right, but there are many reasons, says Mario Escobar. Many reasons what? This is the season, guys. If you believe that you're good enough, that you're better than these players, this is totally the season. This is the year for you in Clash Royale esports. This event had 100% open qualifiers that were held at tournament standard. So keep an eye out for those both in-app and on Twitter as well. But the qualifiers were promoted in-app for all 4 regions, which cover the entirety of the globe. And then also CRL 2021. You know, I know some people are, oh, you need to have a max deck. Yeah, if you're good enough with one deck, max that one deck, go push top 1,000 ladder. If you believe that you have a real good shot at a piece of that prize pool, $75,000 on the line every month, plus the total year with that finals prize pool of $1.6 million. And I know for a fact there are both teams and brands and organizations that are looking to sponsor players as well. So lots of opportunities this year for people in Clash Royale. The most opportunities ever in the history of the game. Hunter on the left-hand side working on that Royal Giant. Razzer's battled his way back into contention here. And 74 saying, y'all going to see me there soon. Watch. I hope to. I hope to see anybody who's good enough. I hope to see him there. And I can't wait for the moment when 74 comes on the top 8 and says, remember, Rich, when I said I'd be there? Here I am. And I'll be pumped. Poison on the left-hand side. Here we are in sudden death overtime. Graveyard in for Razzer. And that's a lot of damage for Razzer, now in the lead. Not going to even worry about that baby dragon. Smart move here from the longtime 2v2 star. Razzer certainly one of the favorites in this group. So far, pretty good lockdown play. Snowball working on the right-hand side on the Zappies. Lumberjack takes one off, goes down, but not enough to break on through. And thank you, Jonathan Stromberg, for the love. Do appreciate it. 893 left-hand lane. Here we go. Triple Elixir, final minute. Graveyard in. Baby Dragon looking up high at the moment. Poison works on the Electro Wizard. Baby Dragon, Lumberjack, and Tower. A lot of poison value there, but Razzer has to be careful. This would be a good time for that Fireball to come through. Doesn't need it, though. Baby Dragon goes in, does get the Fireball down. Royal Giant does get one shot on the right-hand side. 508 to 756. And now Han the Eternal, a.k.a. Eternity, trying to double down on this bridge fight with 30 seconds left. Zappies have to come out for Razzer. He is low on Elixir and low on options. Zappies should get taken out here by a spell and support by Eternity. Does he throw the Fireball here? Yes, he does. Royal Giant will connect on the right-hand side from what? 2:48 remaining, and now Razzer has to put some pace on. He's been on the back foot the entire time, has been unable to get on offense, so throws out the naked GY right now. Final 10 seconds, Graveyard Poison in on the opposite side. Can the Skeletons connect? Will a spell come out the opposite direction? And will it be enough? And it is Han the Eternal, a.k.a. Eternity, winning game number 2 by 137 HP. We're going to game number 3. Gotta hydrate after that one, guys. Is 8-Bit Smoke the best Indian player in CR? Comment. I honestly wouldn't know. He's the most famous. He's the most popular. I don't know if he's the best for sure. Maybe we'll find that out this year. That'd be pretty cool. But he certainly is the one that seems to have the most support out of India. Mikey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Taking a look at some of the chat here for a moment. Next up is going to be Lava versus Magma. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. Taking a look at the stats from this last one. We will occasionally be having the post-game stats coming in. And Han the Eternal able to take that win. GG, well played for Han, going to game number 3 here. Osama, good to see you. Saying hey, Rich, in the chat. Let's go ahead. Oh, we're actually going into our next game here. Game number 3, let's do it. And let's see. Cheesecake saying he's better than 8-Bit Smoke and he's Indian. Cheesecake, I thought you were, but you're Indian descent, right? You don't live in India. I thought you lived in the U.S. Am I wrong on that one? Or lived somewhere in North America? Let's see. Electro for Ice Spirit and Longbait. Thoughts? I've been seeing it a little bit. I played someone today who played 2.6 with Electro Spirit instead of Ice Spirit. That was interesting. I was playing Minor Wall Breakers, and it ruined my bats over and over again. Which CRO Pro do I like the most? That's a hard question to answer. Rich, let's say you win game 1 and don't ban a card. Can you ban after that you lose game 2? I think you have to exercise your ban there. I'm not actually sure the precise ruling on that. Balloon does go to the right-hand side, does not connect. Death damage in. Bans are NATO and Giant Skeleton, so you understand Balloon as a good pick here out of Razzer, and Han going with Lava Hound. And that's going to be a lot of damage on the right-hand side, but does Razzer have enough to contend with the 11 Elixir plus on the board right now? I gotta say, if there's one knock I can see on Razzer so far in this tournament, and that's the second time we've seen him play, let's call it not completely ideal Zappies. They do end up working here. but definitely I wouldn't say the perfect Zappy play. 678 remaining to 1784. Three split here for Razzer, supported with the Roombas. Stromberg, I would have said that he probably could have protected that front Zappy as well, but you know, maybe I'm being nitpicky there. In game number 1, there was one kind of suspect play of the Zappies as well. I guess Razzer's primary purpose with the Zappies right now is to control the Fly Machine. So he's sacrificing one of 3 Zappies to keep Fly Machine damage under control, and that makes sense. Where did the name Roombas come from? Because the Zappies, the Roomba is a small robot, it's a robot vacuum cleaner, and the Zappies look like electrified Roombas. It was from a little joke the other day when we were watching one Zappy that didn't know where to go. And there you go. Man, a lot on the right-hand side, and Razzer knows that's it. GG, well played. Eternity taking game number 3 and the match victory over Razzer. Is Morton the most consistent pro player ever, says Michalis. I think so. Interestingly enough, I would say that the 2 most consistent pros in terms of CRL in particular are Morton and Javi. If you talk about performance over the course of the entire 5-season run of the Western regions, NA, EU, LATAM, and then CRL West, I'd say that they're the most consistent over that 5-season run. And did I say Razzer won? Yeah, I thought I said Eternity won, but maybe I didn't. What's my PB? 63-23 is my personal best. Surgical's most consistent skill. Still, not true. He's not the most consistent player. He was great in 2017, miserable in 2018, very good in 2019 and won the World Championship, very bad in 2020. So I would say that Surgical Goblin certainly is not the most consistent player. He has some of the biggest highs, but I wouldn't say he's most consistent. Not Ruben for most consistent. Well, here's the thing about Ruben, right? Is Ruben, if you take a look at his CRL history, it's only 3 seasons, whereas Morton's been amazing over 5 seasons. So if we're talking about most consistent, I have to say with Morton, but I do think that Ruben is currently the best player in the world. Here we go, game number 1 of Magma and Lava, which is, someone pointed out earlier, kind of a fun pairing. And, you know, the difference between Magma and Lava, this is an important one, is Magma is the still state of lava when it is in the volcano. Lava is what you call it when it's moving. I think that's correct. I could be totally wrong. But I believe Magma is what you call lava when it's in the volcano, and lava is what you call it when it's flowing. If I'm wrong there, someone let me know. But I don't think I'm wrong. Graveyard into the right-hand side with the Mega Knight tanking. Some decent damage here to open up for Magma. They're both playing with fire. Nice one there, Omotayo. I am correct on that one, says El Diablo. Lava's above ground, Magma is under. Boom. Okay. Good to know here. That was a reasonably decent pull on the Magma versus Lava thing that quickly. Greg is the volcano in that analogy, says David Lamelza, and I cannot disagree at all. That was precisely accurate. So far, the lead going to Magma. Slight lead in that right-hand lane. Magma, of course, has had a lot of competitive experience going back to 2019. Playing both in the Royale Crown Cup and CCS. And in 2020, the GZG Series and the Vertex Cup, where the U.S. took #1. And I believe, I could be wrong, let me go ahead and double check this before I actually say it, as Magma takes the tower on the right-hand side and takes one step closer to victory. Let me just double check this. Yeah, Magma was a part of that Clash Royale team for the most recent international event. Mega Knight and Hunter to the left-hand lane. What do I think about Oyasu? He is in this competition. He's in the Asian region, but I don't think he actually made it through to the next round. But Oyasu did play in the Asian region. But didn't he not make it through? I could be wrong there. GG, well played. Magma taking game number 1. Hi, Rich. Falk. Michael says, do you watch any Clash Royale YouTubers? A little bit, but I'm a little busy to watch a lot of YouTube videos now, including making my own content as well. But I peek on some videos every once in a while. Let's see. He made it through. Oh, Oyasu. Hold on. I don't know. Did Oyasu qualify or not? I don't remember if Oyasu qualified. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see. Did Revel post the? I mean, what's the qualifiers somewhere? I don't remember if Oyasu qualified. Let's go ahead and take a look right now. Are there any Brazilians playing top level lately? Oh, Lucas Gamer, Wallace. Both those guys are playing pretty high level at the moment. What are the games you play? Rich Slaton. I play a lot of Clash Royale. I play a lot of Apex. Oyasu did not qualify. Okay, people are saying Oyasu did not qualify to the next stage. So that's good information to have. Some like Ruben, some like Morton. Yash Varden says, but deep down, everyone loves Greg. Yep, I can't disagree with that one. I have to agree with that one. That's just the honest truth. And for those of you who are big Greg fans, we are a couple matches away. We're still in Lava versus Magma. Boss versus StarWars up after that. And then Eternity and Greg will be the next matchup. First, let's go to game number 2 of Lava versus Magma. The Molten Rock competition. Chris Hart Lava playing out of Cuba. Or at least representing Cuba. I don't know if he's actually playing from Cuba or just of Cuban descent. I believe he lives in the U.S. and plays for Cuba international competition. Barb's working on defense, but that last Barbarian getting through from the barrel for Lava. Or for Chris, however you want to put it. And Magma Lava's up on the left-hand lane. Good choice to pressure the opposite lane away from the weak side tower. And the flying machine should help a lot with that cleanup and go then support on that left-hand side. Let's see if that poison stays on the board long enough for the Lava Hound. King Tower, pretty easy King Tower activation there. And Magma there, maybe getting a little bit, maybe a little overdoing it there with the Miner. Could have worked on the Ice Whiz instead of going to the back. Here we go, final minute of regulation play. Double Elixir now flowing. And Chris sets up on the right-hand side. Knight is tanking for the Graveyard. I think the poison might have been an overcommittal there. Because I don't think he gets tower here. Oh, maybe he does. The skeleton's still on tower. Wow. Wow, those skeletons staying there forever. And that wasn't because of the poison. I do think the poison might have been an overcommitment there out of Chris. Those skeletons, though, going the extra mile in this one. Does get back to poison in time. Miner should go to the Ice Whiz here, and it does. NATO to finish off that right-hand tower. I don't think there's any way here, because that Mega Minion not going to get on tower. And there you go. Chris takes game number 2. We're going to game number 3. So far, it's been very even in both directions in this competition. GG, well played. GG, well played indeed. Let's see. Rubik's CR is my role model, says NTC Gaming. Curious to see if Rubik's does get in the mix this season, this 2021 year. Seems like it could be a good year for him potentially. But I've heard that maybe he has to focus on school a bit. I mean, in this tourney, any Brazilian playing? Yeah, Igor, well, those Brazilians are playing in the Latin American region. Brazil's being rolled in with LATAM, and that's going to be available. That happens later today on Cashman's channel. There's the link in the chat if y'all want to go ahead and follow along with LATAM over on Cashman's channel. And, of course, the replays will be available here as well, but the live streams will be right there in the link that I just put into the chat. Rich is my favorite player. Poor choice as far as putting me as your favorite player. You like the Warriors and the Raiders. Tio Rio, I'm guessing somewhere out of California, most likely Northern California. Maybe Oakland. We'll see. East Bay, it sounds like. Can't sleep on Curry. A lot of basketball talk here. For the best player now, in my opinion, is Ruben. Ruben's the best player right now. There's not a strong debate any other way. Anna Louise asking, is baby Slaton feeling better? Yes, he is. In fact, he's actually napping. It's his second day of preschool, and he's actually napping at preschool. Let's go. Rich is from. I'm originally from Sacramento, California. Lived for 12 years in LA, and now I live in Austin, Texas. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3. Let's see. Oh, thanks for being a great commentator during this tournament. Thank you, Nicholas, for supporting. Do appreciate having you here. And guys, as long as you're here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Here we go. Game number 3 between Magma and Lava. Chris Lava. When are Europe playing? Europe already played Utkarsh. The replays are available here on this channel. We finished the group stage. Europe will be back again in about 5 days when we go to the regional finals. But the European group stage has already happened. You can get all 8 days of it here on this channel. Go ahead, check it out. Has Boss played yet? He has played some today, and he'll be playing more today. Every player today, guys, is going to be playing at least 3 times, I believe. Some will be playing more. Oh, it looks like our first off-stream match is Eternity versus Greg. So, that's going to be... Oh, he's off-stream twice today? How dare you, production? How dare you? Burton B. asking, Rich, did you make the move to Texas with Rogan or before? Around the same time. But, like, we didn't drive out together. Thank you very much, Surya, for your kind words as well. Did Viper play for Europe? I don't know if Viper was in the European competition. Man, the production company out of Spain not realizing that Greg is the main attraction over on this channel. Unfortunate. I guess we'll have to watch a lot of Boss and Razzer, huh? Anas saying, Rich, will you be casting all the regions for the regional finals or only NA and EU? You know what? We haven't actually discussed that yet. We have not discussed that yet, so I don't know what the plan is there. Lightning comes out on the side of Magma, working on some of that support. Balloon comes in now behind the giant skeleton. Miner trying to work as hard as it can. This balloon might get the escape. NATO to King Tower instead. I guess Eternity lives in the U.S. and is of Turkish descent. I guess that makes sense if he's playing in the NA region. Now that I think about it. Surya saying, Rich, a suggestion, please organize pro versus pro more frequently. Love that. Yeah, when I'm not casting 3 hours of tournament a day, in between events like this, for sure I'll be doing more Pro v Pro events. Just, you know, right now, we're in the midst of 3 hours of Clash Royale competitive every day. But yeah, 100% there will be more Pro v Pros on the channel. This balloon should not go anywhere because of that tornado. Oh, Christian Knight. Yeah, I'm not in charge of the graphics. That's coming from the production studio in Spain. So everything you see on here, other than my face when it comes on, is coming from the production studio in Spain. I'm just doing a switcher on my end. So if there's a graphical mistake, if there's a match that goes off stream that you wanted to see on stream, all of that somewhere else. Giant Skeleton left-hand lane. 1634 to 1335. Lightning gets a little bit of damage in there. Counter push opportunity here, but that death bomb really, really good for Chris right now. Lightning not going to make enough room. 20 seconds left. A good defense here from Magma could win this with a Lightning on tower. Oh, not anymore, actually. I think the damage is the wrong side, is the wrong amount. NATO's the King Tower. Gonna get the Lightning down. The Lightning not gonna be enough, though. And that's gonna be a Game 3 win for Chris by just a hair, only 19 HP. Unbelievable. GG, well played. Let's go back over to the. I'm lounging so much. I'm like, ugh. All right. Let's come back in here in frame for a moment. Pub Stomper saying I missed the Kill Tony ban. The show will never be the same again. I've been on Kill Tony a few times in the very, very early days, and of course I'm friends with all those guys. Done a lot of stuff with Jeremiah and with Joel. And, of course, Tony and Red Band, all good buddies. But, yeah, I guess the band's not part of the show anymore. I don't really know what they're doing. But the band is definitely cool. Shout out to Jeremiah Watkins and the whole crew there. And Joel Berg. Rich, what's your in-game name for Clash Royale? I have multiple different accounts. Let's see. What is the best win condition currently? It feels like... I mean, best is a hard question, right? I think that the deck that has the highest ceiling in the hands of pros right now is Minor Wall Breakers. So does that make Wall Breakers the best win condition? Some background music, please, says King Julian. Yeah, there's an issue with the production where, and you know what? This is actually supposed to on my channel. You know what? There we go. There's some background music for you. I just realized I didn't have it turned on for this portion of it. So there you go. There's some background music. Is this thing on? There you go. Any match in which Greg is playing may be equivalent to Morton versus Ruben. I agree with that as well. Oh, you're supposed to use you're supposed to use lowercase g for Greg. Good point. Let's go ahead and jump into our next matchup. A big one here. Boss and StarWars. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and check up on the Eternity versus Greg matchup because I think that one... It might be happening right now, actually, so we'll keep you updated on those results as they come in. Have we seen Ruben versus Elsiop? I don't know if I've ever seen those guys play each other. I'm trying to think about that. Wall breakers to the left-hand side. Solid connection here. Now I'm going to be watching this one very carefully to try to maybe learn a bit here from Boss. Because I think he's running the same variant that I run. I'm running the... So far, I'm running the same variant. If he has Log and Miner in here, then yes, it's the same one that I run. So maybe I can learn some things from Boss here as we all watch this one together. Does take one shot from the flying machine. How many trophies do you need to compete, says 74. In what? In this or in CRL? CRL, there are all the rules right there for CRL 2021. If you finish top 1,000, you are in CRL 2021 for that month. In this competition, there's no required amount of trophies. Half the players were invited pros, and half the players qualified through an open tournament. CRL 74. Yeah, there's no specific trophy requirement. It's you have to finish top 1,000 at the end of the season. All the rules right there. You can read up all about it and get yourself ready for the season. Well, so far, not only is Boss leading in damage, but also leading in how he framed himself in the shot on these player cams on the left-hand side. An early bomb tower set up here for Boss against the Lava Hound. Burton B. No, Morton runs the Hunter variation, I believe, in this one. Yeah, I think that today we get no more Greg from that. I'm looking at that. Man! Greg better win some games so they show him on next week. Wall breaker pressure in the left-hand lane. StarWars has to respond to this, I think. There he goes with the arrows. And good kiting of the pups with that knight going the opposite direction. Lava Hound gets on tower, spears to help. This is a lot for Boss to contend with on the right-hand side. StarWars putting the pressure on. And Tombstone does come out on defense. And Boss goes way to the back. And look at that. The lone bat up front distracts the Skeleton Dragons, and that should be enough for a GG here. Very well played. Boss taking the win over StarWars in game number 1. Yeah, guys, here's some. Let's as long as we're in between games, we'll talk about some advice for those of you who are looking to make 2021 a breakout year. First of all, let's talk framing. My framing right now is actually not perfect. Let me go ahead and adjust. I had to move my camera a bit earlier for a thing, but notice how I'm framed like kind of here from the top of my chest, top of my head. There's some camera framing when you're framing up your player cam. When you take a picture of yourself to submit to different competitions, first of all, don't take a selfie. Have someone else take your picture. Stand in a well-lit place. My advice is in the late afternoon, early evening, when you have that time when the sun has just gone down, but everything's still well lit, go find somewhere outside in front of a solid background and stand facing where the sun was and have someone take your picture with the best phone you can find, or a nice camera as well. But you know, most people have a pretty good phone somewhere. Get your picture taken nicely, right? But don't send in weirdo selfies. That's some advice for you. If you have a good little package to put together, people, you know, there are some players who I'm like, oh, I have great pictures for them. I'm happy to put them into a video, things like that. So, yeah, just frame yourself well, present yourselves well. Guys, actually, here's one thing as long as we're waiting for this next one to come up. If you think you have a real shot at CRL 2021 and doing well, this content creation game is open to anybody. Do you have a computer? Do you have a phone? Even if can you get yourself, is there a built-in camera? Can you get a cheap one? You can start making content right now. And if you do have success in CRL in 2021 or in these competitions, there's a lot of opportunity for you to grow as a content creator. This could be a really cool year for a lot of people. So I would definitely work on that a little bit. Giants going to the left-hand lane for StarWars. Balloon in, looking like it's Boss's turn to go lava. Whether you want to be a YouTuber or a streamer or even just making stuff for like TikTok, there are so many opportunities and different ways to make cool content. And people who have success in competitive this year and back it up with good content, the sky's kind of the limit in 2021. Lava Hound set up for Boss on the left-hand side. You're stuck in Arena 3. Any tips? Stop playing Skarmy. Miner goes to the Ice Wiz on the left-hand side. Bar Barrel comes out to defend. That's a good NATO there from StarWars to make sure there's no support for that Lava Hound push. Mega Minion to the left-hand side. Giant Skeleton in reply with the Ice Whiz behind it. Dada Prasad, big fan, Rich. Oh, thank you very much. Glad to see you here. Hope you're enjoying it. Giant Skeleton in deep. Vortex saying in the tweet in the chat that Jupiter King just left Tribe. That wouldn't surprise me, because Tribe does tend to focus heavily on content creators. And I don't know what Jupiter King's content creation situation is. So that wouldn't totally shock me here. I'm going to look that up on Twitter right now. Checking out Jupiter King. His contract with Tribe has ended, now a free agent. Well, he might re-sign with Tribe, who knows? Here we go, sudden death overtime. Elia, I'm stuck in Arena 6 with somebody pros at level 8 cards. What should I do? Level up your cards. Miner goes into the safe spot with that King Tower activation already in. Does get a shot on the left-hand side. And the connection of the flying machine left-hand side does give Boss a nice little 460, 70-ish point lead on that left-hand lane. Lava Hound on the left-hand lane, 1185 remaining. Now chipping away is that big lava. And Boss keeping pressure on. Hard to build up any significant push behind because of the Giant Skeleton. And this balloon not going to get really much of anything here. Death damage in is not going to be sufficient for StarWars. But now some pressure. Miner goes to the back. A lot at the bridge. And now StarWars is trying to put the pressure on as much as possible. Balloon in. Danger right now for Boss. NATO pulls all that together. GG, well played. StarWars takes game number 2. We're going to game 3. Nice work there by StarWars to recognize that the pressure would be the most important thing in the moment, and a good win. Sam, again, I appreciate how impartial you are. Your streams are a good place to hang out. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate it. Everyone says I'm level X and level X cards at X trophies facing level 13s. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing about this game is that, yeah, card levels do matter. What's the best way for me to put this? Without, I mean, a lot of you will hate me for this anyway. I've heard people say, quote, I refuse to spend money on this game. And that's totally fine. That's absolutely your prerogative. And there are ways to compete in this game that don't involve that. These open qualifiers for this event were at tournament standard, meaning level 9, which you can play in. You can get your account all out. You can get a lot of decks to level 9 pretty quickly without too much difficulty. But if that's the barrier between you and $1.6 million, is putting a little bit of money into maxing a deck, if that's the only thing stopping you from $1.6 million, it seems like a weird thing to stop you. Now, I come from a time period where, I mean, look, I just bought FIFA. Here's the thing is, right? I just bought FIFA for $60. And FIFA's not even good. Let's be honest. Pro Evolution Soccer is much better. But I just bought FIFA for $60. And I'm never going to get anything back from FIFA. So if you're willing to spend $60 on FIFA, you know, maybe getting the Pass Royale every once in a while, or getting some gems so you can grind Grand Challenges to level up your account, or level up one deck, especially if you think you can compete in some of these events like this, maybe that's worthwhile. I don't know. You please move my head once. You know what? I'll just turn my camera off. How about that? Boom. There's the beautiful background, guys. There's the beautiful background. And now I'm back. There we are. Let's see. Greg won versus Eternity 2-0. All right, let's go, Greg. GG, well played in his off stream. Should have caught Miner with a troop instead of Tornado. That way you would have Lightning and Tornado Tower for a last-second win. All right, Christian, good evaluation here. That's a cool background. Yeah, I have a bunch of cool backgrounds. Maybe I'll switch the background up one of these days for another one. When I suggest playing with the comfort deck doesn't have all max cards or playing a max card deck. If you're trying to push ladder, figure out a deck that you can max that you perform well with. And then learn every matchup and every interaction for that deck. Learn how all 8 of those cards play against the 100+ card deck pool of the game. You can max out you can make top 1000 with 2.6 Hog Cycle. Like, you can do it if you're good enough at 2.6. And then once you're there, the rest of CRL is in tournament standard. Events like this one are played at tournament standard. So you don't have to max to compete in this event. Opportunities are there. But again, it's funny, people will spend $60 on FIFA, but you suggest the idea of spending $5 or $10 on a game that they think they can compete in and get into a 40,000 prize pool event or a $1.6 million CRL. Just seems like a no-brainer to me if you're good enough. When can we expect the first CRL stream with you and Andrew? When CRL starts? Tio Rio saying you're free to play and have 20 max cards. Yeah, there you go. I mean, also being in a clan that is very active, making sure that you participate in all of the special challenges and events. If you're good, it's not that hard to get one max deck. And some of you might not like hearing me put it that way. But that is a reality. Jonathan Stromberg with the $5 dono in Super Chat. Thank you very much, Jonathan. I really do appreciate that. That's super cool. And you've been very supportive throughout this entire event. Really do appreciate that, man. And when does CRL start? Well, when does this season end? And then the first broadcast will be after this season ends. So there are, in this latter season, let me go ahead and look up. Let me do the work for you here, Wall. I'm going to go ahead and look up when this season ends right now. This season ends in 11 days. The CRL broadcast will be after. Then we'll take the top 1,000 from that. They'll play through the tournament. And then once they play through that, then we'll have the first CRL broadcast. There you go. Electro Giant to the right-hand side. Frisky Temper with the $5 dono, and everyone liked the video. Oh, that's a nice call out there, Frisky Temper. Do appreciate that. Giant Skeleton Balloon. Again for Star Wars. Abdullah asking, what do I need to start streaming? A computer and a way to put your phone onto the computer, pretty much. After that, that's all the rest of it's bells and whistles. Most people prefer that you have a face cam. That's going to make you more successful as a streamer having a face cam. Although, you know, if you're Igor, you can do whatever you want. People will watch like crazy. Balloon into the right-hand side. Miner goes to the Ice Whiz. Final minute approaching. Triple Elixir on its way. 1704 to 1740. Balloon in. That King Tower activation certainly impactful on that Miner. Boss going to need a NATO here, and NATO's that balloon to the opposite lane. Good NATO from Boss. He might eat some damage here anyway. Electro Spirit gets on through, and now Boss sets up to the other opposite lane. Final 35 seconds approaching. Currently the lead for Star Wars. And not that much window here for Boss to take it back. He does have the lightning, but we've already seen one game lost with an attempted last-minute lightning, and that's going to be death damage in. So now Boss has to get on tower. And that's not going to happen here. Lightning to the right-hand side. That Electro Giant trying to get to tower. Can it do so? Tesla comes down. That's going to be it. GG. Well played. Star Wars takes the maybe unexpected win here against Boss, gives the let's go, and shows he's still playing at a pretty solid level here at the Bren Chong Cup 2. And he will be one of 2 undefeated players remaining here in terms of match play. Very nice work. Let's go ahead and look at chat here for a couple of moments. Joea99 saying, I'm free to play, only been playing regular since August 2019. And when I was level 10 back in 2018. 100 cards from your first max card and real close on others. Nice, dude. Keep it up there. I assume it's going to take some days for the top 1,000 players to apply with names, pictures, and all that stuff. Possibly. I don't think they're going to do... I don't know exactly how they're doing all of those pieces of it. Tio Rio, free to play, 26 max cards. Very, very cool. Congratulations on that. Yeah, Abdullah, to start streaming, the 2 things you need are a computer with some sort of streaming software like OBS on it, which is what I use, and then your phone to connect to it. Way to make that happen. After that, the rest of it is just ways to spruce up the stream. You know, getting a face cam is often beneficial. Having a mic is beneficial. Create an overlay is nice, which you can get overlays done pretty easily in the community. StarWars currently in the lead at 2-0. Chris Hart Lava right behind him at 1-0. Other than that, that's the only 2 guys who still have yet to take a match loss in the opening. So far, very even in this competition. No one running away with it. Nobody out. Still early, of course, in the group stage. StarWars really proving his Team USA spot. That's for sure. StarWars is one of those guys who I think is deserving of everything he's gotten. You know, people forget that he made it as far as he did in the No-Tilt World Championship, how good he's been, how long he's been grinding. StarWars, you know, we'll see what his ceiling is, but his floor is certainly pretty high. Gaming with Joel. Rich, how do you create overlays? Well, there are 2 possibilities for creating overlays there, Joel. Number 1 is there are tons of people you can hire to make an overlay, whether it be in the CR community itself. You can also just go on Fiverr and find somebody to do it for you. Lots of people who create overlays. Also, if you have any photo editing software, whether it's Photoshop, I use Affinity, it's not that difficult to create a transparency with an overlay as well. Just depends on how pretty you want that overlay to be. Wall asking, Rich, do you think it's reasonable to use the term reverse sweep when it's only a BO3? Yeah, it seems a bit excessive in a BO3, in my opinion. I agree with you on that one. Sometimes I use the terminology there, but it does seem a bit excessive to use that in a BO3. Haley saying, hey, Rich, what's up? Hey, Haley, how are you? Looking like Chris going Electro Giant here in game number 1 against Razzer. Jordan Lee saying, StarWars is the epitome of a grinder. People got to start putting more respect on his name. I think he deserves more credit than he gets, that's for sure. NATO to King Tower for the Hog Rider. And for those of you who don't know, a Hog Rider will get 7 shots on a Princess Tower without the King Tower activated. With the King Tower activated, that gets reduced to 4 if you have an unresponded to Hog Rider. On balance, in general, an active King Tower reduces hog shots by about half. Hey, Haley with the $3 super chat. Thank you so much, Haley. Do really appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the stream and hanging out with all of us. Yeah, that lightning might have been... Hog Rider in. EQ takes care of the cage. Hog won't get a shot, though. Signing a petition for you to stream on Twitch as well. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll do some of these co-streamed on Twitch. I've never quite understood some people's love for it. Is what it is, though. Lightning in this time does get some work done, but another bomb tower high to control. Razzer firmly dictating the action at this stage. Hog in. Let's see if the EQ gets the Ice Whiz. Decides not to Earthquake here, does Razzer. Saving up for his next defense, knowing that that Earthquake would have been a bit of an overcommitment. Haley saying, oh, another super chat. Haley saying, Rich, I enjoy it every day. Gotta show respect. Haley, thank you so much. That really does mean a lot. And so cool of you And David Lamelza saying, show Greg or I'll burn down HQ. Well, Greg, it's an expensive flight to Spain, but good luck. And guys, the support does really mean a lot. It's very, very cool. So Haley, David, everyone else who's done Super Chats today, super, super cool. And that's a super lot of damage here from Chris. And the big beatdown overwhelms in the right-hand lane. GG well played. Lava. Chris taking game number 1. Signing a petition for Greg to gain mainstream, right? Greg should be on the mainstream the entire time. I'm hoping that with some good performances today, maybe they put him on the stream tomorrow when we come back to this same group again in 4 days. There's esports for mobile games. Nightwolf. Not only is there esports for mobile games, this tournament has a $40,000 prize pool, and our CRL Clash Royale League has a $1.6 million prize pool. So Nightwolf, don't say oof, say, oh my god, that's a lot of money, and maybe I could get some of that. Here's the rules for you in the chat. Yeah, mobile esports. We're not the only one, by the way. Clash Royale, a major mobile esport. PUBG Mobile, of course, is really big. Honor of Kings Arena, Valor has been big for a long time. So lots of options. Hey, Mance Raider coming through with the big $20 super chat. I think Mrs. Slaton deserves to get a burrito, too. Thanks for letting us borrow Rich so much lately. Mance Raider, I promise you that I'm going to send that for that's going to be a burrito for Mrs. Slaton for sure. Thank you so much. That's really, really cool. Man, you guys are coming through huge today. Huge today. COD Mobile, there you go. Yeah, mobile gaming is huge, and mobile gaming is bigger worldwide than console or PC gaming. If you actually look at the actual numbers, it's kind of crazy how much bigger mobile gaming is than console and PC. And while in the US there's a pretty strong bias towards towards PC gaming specifically, and console gaming secondary is an anti-mobile bias. Throughout the world, yeah, mobile gaming is bigger, it's growing faster, and mobile esports is huge. Mobile's the future, baby. Let's go. Man, Haley coming through huge today. Mance Raider with the massive super chat. David Lamelza. Gonna have to get that gold burrito soon, guys. And Mrs. Slaton likes breakfast burritos. That's the jam. Just like me. Lava Miner Barbs here for Chris. No shocker here since he hearts lava. Feel 19, not a big fan of Hog Rider, although it is a consistent and strong win condition. Why does no one use Prince, says Grunky. Prince isn't super strong in the meta right now. Just same thing as why P.E.K.K.A. isn't super strong in the meta right now. There are too many swarm cards that give both P.E.K.K.A. and Prince a hard time. Log to the right-hand side for Razzer, 1786 on his right-hand tower. Lava, Chris Hart Lava currently in the lead. Goblin Cage in response to the Hog. And I think that was the, proper placement. That Goblin Cage placement up high there, 2 tiles off the bridge. That is the placement to fully counter the Hog Rider. Keep an eye on that one. I gotta tell Mrs. Slaton that someone in chat bought her a burrito. We used to joke back in the day, and nice pickup there with the Goblin Cage on the right-hand side. When I worked at the Comedy Store during my tenure as a door guy, like a world-famous comedy store in Hollywood, where the door guy system is how they develop new talent, new comics. I was working the parking lot often, and Joe Rogan would bring in his very expensive cars. He wouldn't let you park them, which would kind of create some complications in the parking lot. He parked wherever he parked his car where he wanted to. As they say, 800-pound gorilla sits wherever he wants. But Rogan always tipped very, very well. Very, very well indeed. And there was a time period where if we were ever out and I paid cash for a meal, Mrs. Slaton would say, "Thank you, Joe Rogan," as both as our little inside joke, and also because, yeah, that was how we were paying for the meal. Very, very generous, the famous comedian and commentator. Lava Hound, Flying Machine, Skeleton Dragon on the right-hand side. Miner goes in with the arrows as well, but The Spear Goblins come down behind the arrow play. 1135 to 1134. 1 HP difference right now. Hog Rider going to get picked up by the late cage here, but I believe they have to overspend a little bit here. Log does come through. 858. It is Razzer with the lead for the moment. Smart call here from Razzer going with the Hunter Royal Delivery version of this deck so he can contend with these aerial troops, knowing he's up against a common Lava Hound player. Whether that pays off in the end, not entirely sure. There's a lot of damage on the right-hand side. 351, the High Hunter trying to hold on, but this might be too much here. The arrows come in. That's got to be a GG coming in here. 108 remaining, and connection happens. Chris takes this match 2-0. GG, well played. Papa Ismailia saying, hey, what's up, Rich? How's your day going? It's going pretty well. Just watching some good Clash Royale. And Chris with another big win here. Huge win here. So Chris moves to 2-0. Would you consider Icebow viable for ladder pushing at least to 6K? Potentially to 6K. Depends on how good you are at Icebow, right? So, interesting thing, and this is not to knock the YouTubing community of Clash Royale, but a lot of the emphasis is put on, this is the next deck that beats everything. And I think there's a bit of a... I think that drives some people in the wrong direction. Everyone's always looking to fix their gameplay by finding the magical deck. There isn't a magical deck that just wins against everything. It doesn't exist. There's what do you master? A master with 2.6, which is not meta, which is not very good right now, will destroy somebody who's okay with the #1 deck in the game right now. A lot of the time, right? Minor Wall Breakers might not be the best deck in someone's hands. Lava Miner might be the best deck in someone's hands. Rather than trying to cast about and find what's the best new meta-destroying, unbeatable deck, figure out what you're good at, and then one-trick that. Play that so much that you know everything about it. That's how you do it. Kid finished top 100 with the 2016 variation of Logbait. Exactly. What do you think of Razzer's deck choice? Hog's not very strong right now, and he plays it 2 times in a row. Hoggy Q can work out pretty well. This isn't a rematch. I don't think these guys already played this. Wait. Why are they playing again? That is weird. I'm asking about this. Did they? Who did Razzer? Razzer just played Chris. Boss, no, this is the first matchup. Boss played Greg and Boss played StarWars. This is the first time that Boss and Eternity have played. Man, I was confused there for a second. You guys had me all twisted around. Hoggy Q is still viable. Just depends on the matchup. And Mance Raider saying, yeah, the Hog might connect, but it is more about forcing responses and then using your spell cycle to win. I suppose my only deck that's even close to being maxed. Well, there are a couple options there. Colton. And, oh, man, what a terrible, terrible Tornado. And that, my friends, is why I disagree with the assessment that Tornado is OP. Because of how often it gets misplayed. We've seen 2 major misplays with Tornado today alone. Icebow can probably push you to 6K if you're good with it. But look, if you're great with Icebow, you can push really high with it. If you're great with it, and again, it depends on what it's like in your hands. Big connection left-hand side. Speaking of what's going on in your hands here, that balloon going to get this tower right back, and we are going into the final minute all tied up again. Wow. Rough turn of events there for Boss. But people being bad doesn't mean that Tornado doesn't mean it isn't broken. But here's the thing, right? Is Tornado is OP, but has such a high rate of misplays and punishes you so much for it. And we see even high-level CRL pros make misplays with Tornado. Could it be a little bit weaker? Maybe. I'm not saying that it couldn't. But what I am saying is that I don't see you see more severely impactful misplays with Tornado than almost any other card. And even from pros playing at the highest level. So kind of a 50-50 on that one. But again, if you one-trick Ice Bow, you can push it pretty high, as Tesfaye is saying there in the chat. If you one-trick any decent deck, you can probably push it up pretty high, depending on your skill level. But also, if you have Ice Bow close to, oh boy, that's going to be connection, and it is. Huge connection there. Baby Dragon on tower. Boss in a lot of trouble here, shaking his head, knowing that he just got that game stolen. Graveyard into the opposite lane, but no significant take for it. And that's just going to mean a whole lot on the board here for Eternity. At this point, Boss still trying to hold on, but has to know that this one's over. And there's the Electro Dragon connection, throws out the Graveyard at the bridge, and that's going to be a GG. Well played. Eternity takes game number 1. Back to that same conversation, guys, about decks. So that for you who's got Ice Bow nearly maxed, a lot of those pieces for Ice Bow can pivot to another deck. You can pivot to a Hog deck. You can pivot potentially to some Balloon decks. You can pivot to some Royal Giant decks. So you can pivot, and that's the other thing too about building. About when you're trying to max up a deck, is thinking about what are some other alternatives that I could push behind this one. If for some reason my deck turns out not to be viable as time goes on. But yes, you can push pretty high with Ice Bow, but it depends on your skill level. I remember my dad told me this story about when he was a young man on a business golfing outing thing back in the 70s. And he was playing with his dad's clubs, these old wooden kind of crummy clubs, and it was him and a business associate, and they had the club pro was playing with them at this just general day of a golf outing, and my dad was just hitting the ball into nowhere, and this is like 1973, has a big bushy mustache, big helmety hair, probably had a gold chain hanging out, and he cannot hit the ball to save his life, and he's blaming the clubs. Oh, these clubs are terrible. These are my dad's clubs. They're old. They're garbage. And the pro says, hey, can I see that driver for a second? Steps up to the tee and just blasts the ball 325 yards. Looks at my dad and says, I think the club's all right, and throws it back to my dad, right? The tool is as good as the player. So is Ice Bow the best it's ever been? No, Ice Bow's not great right now. And I don't suspect that we'll see Ice Bow hit top 10 ladder anytime soon. But in the right hands, can Ice Bow still be very effective to push you up pretty high on ladder? Yeah. It depends on the player. Is the deck a part of it? Absolutely. But the player's more in a lot of ways. So there you go. Looks like Sweep is in the chat here over on YouTube. Good to see you there, Sweep. GG's. Hey, Rich, can you speak some Yiddish for me? Weird request there, Sweep. A little schmaltzy, but all right. Let's see. What's our next match going to be today? We're still waiting on game number 2 of Boss and Eternity, right? That was game 1 for Boss Eternity, I believe. Be back with that in a minute. A lot of people here excited to see Sweep, and of course Sweep so far looking pretty good. Let's see, is Balloon Freeze or GY Freeze a good deck in mid ladder? I mean, depends. Depends on the construction, precisely. Most people say that in mid ladder you do need a building of some sort, just because of how much Hog and Royal Giant there is. There's a lot of Hog in mid-ladder, but, it depends on your playstyle. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2 of Boss and Eternity. Eternity up 1 so far. Let's see. I thought I saw something there. Hold on. I'm just checking. There's something in the chat I thought I missed. Where is it? Stream quality is bad on my phone. Need to open my laptop. Oh, yeah. It's pretty... If you're watching on your... For those of you who watch on your phone, guys, this is built to be watched in landscape mode, horizontal mode. But in what you can do if you do want to be able to watch just the gameplay on your phone, what you can do is open this in the YouTube, in your browser on YouTube rather than the YouTube app, and then you can pinch to zoom and make the gameplay full screen. In fact, I'll show you guys how to do that right after this game, after this match when we're in the break. I'll show you how to do it on my phone. One second, folks. Royal Giant here for boss. Haven't seen a ton of RG today. Just Rollin' saying a 6K considered mid-ladder. Yeah, that's right in the middle. Hey, Rich, do you drink Monster Energy? I don't know if I ever have had a Monster Energy drink. I'm not sure I've ever tried one. Rich, you have created a Rabid Greg fan club. Yeah, I mean, we've had, you know, there's the Greg fan club here, the Gregonites, the Gregors. I gotta find out a good name for them. And then, of course, there's the FLG, the Fake Lapacati gang, which is the old school shout-out gang from the Trovo days. 1227 right-hand side for boss. Zappies, Hunter, and Electro Spirit. A lot to stop that Inferno Dragon here. And Eternity Lava's up one more time. He's been playing a ton of Lava. And it hasn't... The McGregors, interesting. Interesting choice there. It hasn't felt like anyone's really tried hard to snipe Lava against Eternity. The Gregorians. Ooh, I like that one. $19 HP on that right-hand side. Electro Spirit to control, and that should be game number 2 here pretty easily for boss. The Gregors. All right, so game number 2 goes to boss. Nice, easy win here. We're going to game number 3. GG, well played. Let's see if we have enough time for this. So check this out, guys, for those of you who want to be able to watch this on your phone, but want to watch just the gameplay and have that zoomed in. What you do, let me see if I can make this work here. I'm going to go to YouTube in my browser rather than the app, right? So in your browser, like open up Safari or Chrome, whatever you use rather than your app. And let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up the live stream myself. So let me turn off my green screen here for 1 second. I think we can get this done in time. Let me go to my filters, turn off my green screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. There you go, green screen off. So here we have, there's the live stream right there. You can see I have it up on my phone. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pinch to zoom. Oh, does it? Oh, remember, that's right. You can't do it with the, you can't already be zoomed in. You have to be like this. You have to be like this. And then you pinch to zoom, and boom, look at that. Look at how zoomed in I am on my face. Right? So using the pinch to zoom in, pinch to zoom out, pinch backwards to zoom in. Right? You guys know how to do this on your phones? You guys know how to do this? So what you do is you open it up in the browser, but you keep it on the main page. You don't go hit the little square there to expand it. And then when the gameplay comes in, you pinch to zoom, and boom, there you are. Getting Reddit alerts here. And there you are. So if those of you watching on your phone want to be able to watch just the gameplay, that's how you do it. That's how you go get it done. And then you can make the gameplay full screen as you're talking about it. So there you are. Hopefully that helps some of you who were watching who came here from inside the app and are not watching on a computer or a TV screen or whatever. And that way you can, because I understand, like, when you're watching like this and the gameplay is like just this big, that can be super annoying. I totally get that. So hopefully that works for you. Doesn't work on Android, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's just an iOS thing. I've never owned an Android phone. I don't know if I've like barely ever even held an Android phone in my hand. So there you go. We should be back with our game number 3 here in just a moment. And Edo Chino. First of all, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. You guys have been OP today with the chats. Any tools for getting better at CR, like a training simulator or classes or a textbook? I'm terrible. 90% cards maxed out. Love CR. Well, Edo, first of all, you're proof, just like I am, that maxed cards don't make a great player. Again, I'm 63-23 personal best, and I have plenty of decks maxed. Most people say the best way to get better is to watch players play. And there are tons of videos out there, whether it be from Morton or from B-Rad or from Boss or watching guys go on CWA or OJ. There's tons of videos that are about like, hey, here's how you play this deck. You can watch them and really watch the decision-making process. I don't learn well that way. I learn better from written instructions. I know Vulcan has some, I believe, on his Discord server. Also, there are little tech videos. I make some. There are a lot of different people who make them out there that teach you different techniques, right? Like, for example, a technique we've seen here a couple times in this event, and I've talked about it before, but I'm going to share it right now in the chat one more time. There's the technique of how you activate Mortar against a King Tower. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3. And here's another one, the technique of how to pull the P.E.K.K.A. with Miner, which is kind of a little even more situational one. But let me go ahead and share this one in. There are a lot of little videos like this out there as well that are like, hey, here's how you learn a little technique for you. That's one about how to activate King Tower against your opponent's Mortar. Lots of different ways that you can learn. But I don't know if there's like a textbook somewhere. Let's see. You can zoom in on the Twitch app. Oh, wait. You can? I didn't know that. Let's see. Other things. Are you using Windows or Mac? I'm on a Mac right now, although I am going to be getting a big PC build for a lot of my production stuff pretty soon. My Mac will always probably be my video editing computer for the future, because I do like editing in Final Cut, and then my PC will be just my streaming and production computer. So Lava Hound again here for Eternity. Zappy's Flying Machine, Cage, Electro Spirit, all good responses here. Killian asking, hello, I have a question. I'm currently using a very taboo Lava Loon double witch deck that I have sort of mastered. And if I get good enough with it, how far could it get me? Depends on how good you mean. It's very funny you call it taboo. Look, there are one-trickers who play decks that make no sense, right? The often-seen Denacito Pro deck, the Muhammad Parsa deck, of course, Pheno Final Form. If you get amazing with a one-trick deck, the sky's the limit. It just depends on making sure it's balanced enough and making sure you actually learn every major matchup. 734, 675 on the right-hand side. Boss way ahead here in game number 3. Love how you talk only about the germs, not the American bro. Don't be like that. Wait, what? Did I say something? Or is that somebody else? I'm not sure what I'm missing here. Lava Hound on the left-hand side, Lumberjack in. What do you mean by one trick? Good question. A one trick is someone who just masters a single deck. They play that deck over and over and oh no, boss knows he just threw it. What a brutal right there, a brutal ending. GG, well played. Eternity takes a dub in 3 games. One trick means you are amazing, but with one deck only. GG to Eternity. Nice work there, Jonathan Stromberg. Good job. Let's see. Han the Eternal with a great, look at that victory picture for Eternity. That's fire. Nice work. You know what? That inspires me. We've reached that point in the show where it's time. You know, I saw Han's pick and I couldn't resist. Gotta bring out the good stuff. And let's see, the shades. Yep, the gooders. Nothing gooder than a gooder. How did Greg's match end? The universe imploded and then unimploded, and that's how we're all back here. Let's take a look at some of the chat here for a moment as we wait for our next matchup. Jonathan Stromberg, congratulations on there. Let's see. Not sure what I missed in the chat. Looks like there might have been was there a little drama in the chat? Guys, keep it nice. Everyone, the number one rule of my chat is the number one rule of Bill and Ted. Be excellent to each other. Let's go ahead and jump into our next matchup, Magma and StarWars. Haley with the super chat here, the $3 super chat. Rich teaching everyone how to use basic technology. Thank you, Haley. Trying to help out the best I can. Rich, is Mega Knight big bridge spam good in mid ladder? It can be. Screen and glasses. Yep, my glasses are very reflective. That is correct. Oh, you know, everyone has different opinions on content creators. As long as no one's being mean, I'm good here. How much of a Star Wars fan do you call yourself Star Wars? No offense, just saying. I don't know. It's a cool name. I don't know. You think Magma is like really into volcanoes? Like Magma's like, one time he visited Hawaii, he was like, this is what I want to base my life around now. When does Morton play again? When we get into the regional finals in a couple weeks. The world finals for this event will be middle of February. I believe the 12th or the 14th. I saw someone ask about that earlier. A lot of damage in for Star Wars on the left-hand side. And Haley, another $4 super chat. Thank you very much. That's super, super cool. Chat has been OP today. That's for sure. Is Boss out of the tournament now? I don't believe so. This is not a bracket tournament, guys. We are in the group stage. So this is day one of this group. There are 2 days of play for each group. They are playing a round robin. So all 8 players will play the other 7 in their group. And the top 4 will move on to the next portion. So that's what's happening here. But no single game eliminates somebody unless they've gotten to a point where their rating would put them out, their overall win-loss record. Is someone giving someone trouble for super chatting? That's a weird thing to do. $13.01 on the left-hand side. Giant Skeleton now with the Fisherman and Hunter and Royal Giant all behind. How many people make it out of the group stage? Tio Rio, great question. 4 people from each group, and there are 4 groups per region. So there will be 16 people from out of the 32 from each group move on to the regional final. And then in each regional final, the top 3 move on to the world final. Magma doing a good job here on the left-hand lane so far. Giant Miner, interesting choice here from Star Wars. I think I've seen him run Giant Miner in the past. And this Giant Skeleton going to get in deep here. Royal Giant behind the Giant Skeleton working on the Fisherman. Fisherman does not go down appropriately for mags. It doesn't really matter. Royal Giant will hit 1 time, will hit 2 times. Fireball comes in. GG, well played. Magma takes game number 1 here. Let's pop back out. Again, going with the whites. I have a whole, guys, I have some new sunglasses on their way, and I can't wait to show them to you once they actually get here. Well, guys, I don't really know what's going on in the chat here, but be excellent to each other. That's all. That's my whole thing. And if someone's not being excellent to you, don't worry about it. Just be excellent to somebody else. Rich, when Moogie play? Moogie, if he's been playing, is in the Asian group. Let me take a look if he was actually in the event. Moogie played in Group D of the Asian region for this Bren Chong Cup event. I believe he qualified. I didn't hear anything about Mugi not qualifying, so I think I would have heard a lot about that if he didn't. So Mugi will be playing again. Once we get through this group stage, this is day 3 of 8 days in our second half of the group stage. So we have 5 more days of group stage play after this. After that, the last few days of the month, I believe it's the 28th to the 31st, maybe 29th to the 31st, we will be doing the regional finals. So you'll see Mugi again in the regional finals at the end of January. Greg, thanks for the support today, Rich. Happy to support you, man. Hope you're having fun in this event. That's for sure. Mega Knight down in front of the E-Wiz. Good protection there from Magma. Lava Miner Night Witch, it looks like, for StarWars. Could be going Giant Miner again, but my guess is that StarWars is going Lava. Bristow saying, I'm thoroughly enjoying these tournament brackets. Thanks for the great commentary, Rich. Thank you very much, Bristow. And guys, here's the rules. If you want to know what's going on here, there's the rules. And of course, also here's a link to AppGrade. Great ways to engage either way. And yeah, Mance Raider's been super cool and supportive the whole way through, Haley, so I'm sure he didn't mean anything, as he's saying there in the chat right now. Lava Hound to the right-hand side, Baby Dragon up front. Antiva. Guys, if you want to know a way to get banned from the chat, Antiva just got banned from the chat. If your goal is to ever try to make me say something really awful by spelling it differently, goodbye. Latak in the chat here. How have the matches been? They've been very good. Latak currently 3-1 in Group A for the North American region. We'll see him again in a couple of days as Group A returns for the second half of their pool play. Does Oyasu participate in this tournament? Yes, he did, and he did not qualify for the next stage there. Lava Hound taken care of by the Hunter. Fly Machine with the Night Witch. We'll see if StarWars gets anything in front of that. Hunter goes for the Flying Machine. Miner goes to the back here to get some of those bats, potentially. What is the name of the deck that Magma is running? It's just Mega Knight Graveyard. No special name for it, but it's a graveyard variant. And so far, this bridge fight has pretty much been the story. A couple of shots both directions, but it really has turned into a middle third battle between StarWars and Magma. And the second Lava Hound down. Hunter up high, but 2 Lava Hounds going to be very difficult for Magma to contend with here. Good timing on the poison. E-Wiz in support, and that cage should pop nicely here to control Mega Knight in front, but StarWars continue to put the pressure on, and one pup does get on that tower. 15-01 remaining. And Graveyard push the opposite direction. Baby Dragon working on defense. Magma takes the lead back here and puts on some good damage, but StarWars should be able to get a Lava Hound in front of this Baby Dragon. No, decides to go ahead and lava up in the back instead. Hunter to the right-hand lane. Flying Machine high. And that's an unsupported Graveyard. This feels like it could be the end for Magma. StarWars with 1 Lava Hound on. Pups behind. Hunter, though, working nicely. Fireball gets in well-timed. Ewiz comes in behind that. But look at the lead now, going for StarWars. Miner goes into the back, does not tank for the pup, but minor damage on that right-hand side. Magma really has nothing he can do here. That's going to be a GG, a well played. And man, this has been a back-and-forth day. We've had very few sweeps. It's pretty much been 3 games the entire way through. I feel like most of these matches have been going to game number 3. Is there another group tomorrow? Tomorrow we move on to Group D action. Oh, that's the wrong region. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and look at tomorrow. So today we are in Group C. Tomorrow, the 21st, Group D. Also going to be the same time. That's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in Central Europe. Tomorrow's group is Ah Crap, CR Sucks, Hazard, Sandalia, So Rob, JSKP, The Juicy One, and Cheesecake. So that's going to be tomorrow's lineup for Group D action. We are in our second to last match of the day, this Boss versus Magma matchup. Then we have Chris Hartlava versus Eternity to wrap things up on today's stream. Let's take a look. Nick Moylan really doesn't like giant GUI. Everyone has the thing they hate the most. Let's see. Any other important things in chat here? Memeing was pretty fun, says Greg. Sure. Is Juicy One and Juicy J different people? Yeah, the Juicy One and Juicy J are different people. The Juicy One, I believe, is from, I want to say Tennessee. I want to say Tennessee for the Juicy One. I could be wrong. I think it's somewhere in like the Mid-South for the Juicy One. And then Juicy J, I believe, is from somewhere in the Midwest. But yeah, they are different players. What is Boss's record for the day? Well, there it is on the right-hand side of your screen. Boss currently at one match win and 2 match losses. So Boss still currently in the hunt. 1 and 2 is fine. If he takes one more loss, going to be kind of on the bubble there, though. StarWars and Magma. This is kind of a swing matchup. StarWars either takes firm control here of this division or falls down to the middle of the pack and end up tied with Magma at 2 and 1. Yeah, Juicy J is from Kansas or Nebraska, somewhere in that range, says Nick. Yeah, he's somewhere in the Midwest. Which Hazard do you mean? The Hazard for NA is not Igor. Igor is playing in the Asia region. Did Morton qualify? Yes, he did, Gamer Nick. Guys, we're reaching the end of the stream here. We have one more match after this. If you haven't yet, I see 750-something of you watching right now. 321 likes. Let's go ahead and throw some more likes on this chat, on this stream. Again, trying to show a lot of support for the NA region here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and make sure you come back for the remainder of this tournament and the future events that are happening right here on youtube.com/RichSlaton. Mega Knight left-hand lane into the Valk. Jason Gomez. Some Goblin Barrel decks can work, but bait isn't super strong right now. Graveyard in, but a lot in response here with the Skeletons and the Archers. So no significant damage there. Fishboy goes to the right-hand side. Magma currently in the lead here in this very tight, very important game number 3. Did Sandy show up today? I don't know if Sandy made it out today. OP Mod Sandy. I think she might. I don't think she made it out today, but hopefully we'll see her tomorrow. High delivery does take care of the push at the bridge. And Mags holds on here pretty nicely. Sabusio Shimi, why isn't the African region included? I think the African region was absorbed by one of the other regions. I think for time zones that the African region would have been in EU from a time zone perspective. Not entirely sure, though. Hog connects on the right-hand side. EQ does some damage as well. Might go for the King Tower activation here. Does he skeleton low here? Yes, he does. King Tower activation gets in, and that's going to make things even more difficult for StarWars. And Magma calling the good game right there. That makes it real hard for StarWars to get in this one. Pretty easy King Tower activation there with the Bomb Tower Skeletons. You can also do that with Bomb Tower and Spears or Stab Goblins as well. For those of you running minor wall breakers, you can run that same King Tower activation with the Spear Goblins. And Hog to the right-hand side. EQ comes in. This feels like a matter of time now for Magma. So Magma is going to stop StarWars from taking control of first place here, more likely than not. I could be wrong. Something crazy could happen here. And if that's the case, that will mean Chris Heart Lava is the only undefeated player left. And in our final match of the day, which is going to be Chris versus Eternity, Chris has a chance to take firm control of this division and go 3-0. The question is, can Eternity stop him? Jonathan Stromberg saying, hey, Rich, freeze helps GUI a lot when King Tower is activated. Yes, but there is no GUI in Star Wars deck here. Hog Rider in, cage high. And Star Wars, not enough elixir here to do anything significant. Hog will finish that tower off on the right-hand side. And Magma takes the win, moves to 2-1, and prevents Star Wars from moving to 3-0. GG, well played. Magma having a good season, or a good run so far in this group stage. So we're going to go into our final match of the day here, folks. And don't forget, before we get to that final match, throw in your likes, throw in your subscriptions. And I haven't plugged it much today, but don't forget to, bottom left-hand side of your screen, use code RICH. Use code RICH in the chat, in your app whenever you're playing Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, whatever it might be. Use code RICH to support me before you make any purchases. Does certainly help out a lot. And if you don't want to support me, put in someone's code. It is super helpful and a great way to support the creators overall in the community. Did I miss something, or is Greg not playing? Greg has been playing, but Greg's been playing on off stream. No Black Shades, you guys. It is the final match of the day. Let's go ahead and switch to. There we go. The professional respawners. And again, I have a bunch of new pairs on their way. Cannot wait to show them to you guys once they do actually arrive here. Jonah, you don't put in anyone's code. Put in someone's code. It's a nice thing to do. It's very helpful. What does a mod do? What's the purpose? Moderate the chat is the primary job of a mod. So if someone is being inappropriate or rude or whatever it might be, removing comments, timing people out. Also, a mod has other privileges too, like posting links that are approved links. So a mod can do a lot of different things potentially. But most importantly, it's keeping the chat behaving well is the primary job of a mod in chat. But yeah, you guys should put someone's code in. Preferably mine. It's easy. It's just 4 letters, R-I-C-H, R-I-C-H. But you don't need to. Let's see. Are you going to play Clash or just change glasses? Jackson Hawkins, I'm just going to change glasses. Actually, that's all that happens now. I'm just going to let's just change glasses. The whole stream now. No more Clash. It's going to be just me changing glasses repeatedly. There we go. That's the whole stream now. So, yeah. Good call. I mean, that's a good question there. Just going to be changing glasses for the rest of the stream. Should I change them again, or should I leave on these ones with the chroma key out? The key is, they do look pretty fresh like that, though, right? The magical glasses. They look pretty cool. Is Boss still in this? Yes. We'll have standings at the end of the day today. We only have one match left. After that match, then we will go look at standings again. Boss is still in this. He's 1-2 so far in match play. And really, 4-3 seems to be the mark that gets you in, most likely. Are there ban cards for each set? Joey, great question. This event is being played in a ban on first loss format. Ban on first loss meaning game number 1 is played with no bans. Let's go ahead and jump back into the action here. Game number 1 is played with absolutely no bans. Then game number 2. Oh, I guess that we still have more. I guess we're going a little bit longer than we thought. Never mind. Game number 2, the loser of game 1 has the option to ban a card if that person wishes. So game 1, there are no bans. Loser of game 1 gets the option to ban a card if they wish, the remainder of that best of 3 set. And if we go to, if the other person loses game 2, we go to game 3, then there are 2 bans potentially. King Zoo is Razzer and Team Liquid now. He was in 2020. I don't know what Team Liquid's relationship is with Clash Royale in 2021. Do creator codes help creators in game or financially? Financially. Creator codes are a way that when you make a purchase, the creator whose code you put in gets a little piece of the action. So it's a nice way to support a creator. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the creators out significantly. In fact, in 2020, this might surprise some of you, while viewership for a lot of creators is way up, YouTube revenue is way, way down because of the financial situation that we're all in at the moment. So while you might see some of creators you know getting more subscribers and more views and things like that, the ad revenue has dropped significantly. So a lot of creators in the Supercell world, the creator code has been helping them out a lot, make up for the loss in ad dollars that they got on YouTube. Balloon does not quite get bumped towards the cage. So that's a huge balloon connection here for Razzer. A nice little NATO there to clean up. Is there prize money for this tournament, Joey Furlow? Yes, there is. There are the rules. This is a $40,000 prize pool. The grand prize here is going to be $15,000 to the ultimate winner, to the winner of the finals. Tower down from Daniel anyway. Daniel currently 0-2, needs us to stay in the match, and so does Razzer. The loser here falls to 0-3, would not be out yet, but would have to pretty much win all 4 matches the next day around in order to stay relevant. Blake Costello saying, Rich, you need to wear a green shirt and a green hat, disappears up for your face. Strong move. Like a green beanie and a green shirt. Here we go. Sudden death overtime. And the miner to pick up the balloon there, just sliding on through, and that's a nice giant skeleton. Balloon does connect on the right-hand side for Razzer. And now the longtime CRL star in a good position, setting up nicely for this counter push. Joey, love your commentary and chat interaction. Thanks, Joey. Do appreciate that. Do my best to give as much commentary as possible and to also interact with the chat to the best I can. And some YouTube viewers get annoyed on the replay that I talk to the chat too much here, but you guys are here live and a part of the action, so of course I want to talk to you guys and answer as many questions as I can while I'm here. Here we go, final minute triple elixir on its way. Razzer holding on nicely, 1192 to 2306. The King Tower on Razzer's side, though, certainly in a bit of trouble here. Lava Hound in the pocket. Miner goes to King Tower, or to Princess Tower. Ice Wiz defending. That actually helped out, though, for Razzer with the Giant Skeleton. Coming back a little bit there, and now that Giant Skeleton will completely destroy those Skeleton Dragons. And that's a big, big whiff. A big oops there for Daniel. Skeleton Dragons right into a Giant Skelly Bomb. And this should be enough to secure the win for Razzer with just 14 seconds left. Do I play competitively myself or just commentary? No, I'm just a commentator. Commentator, producer, or whatever. But no, I am not good enough to play competitive. But I've been professionally commentating on Clash Royale now for going into my 4th year here. All right, Razzer takes game number 1. Very important win there. Oop, I meant to press a different button. Team Serve saying, certainly this is a boring job there, be honest. Like any job, this job has its bright points and its less bright points. But even when content creating, commentating Clash Royale, whatever it is, even on its worst days, it's better than the jobs I could have been doing, right? So, I could, no offense to anybody who's doing this, but I could just be in an office doing data entry or whatever, and that would be a lot less fun than talking with you guys and watching some fun Clash Royale. So, yeah, I mean, even the best jobs, I've worked the road as a comic for 10 years, and stand-up comedy is the best job I could ever imagine, and it still had completely awful days. So, is what it is. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2 here. Razzer up 1. Zach saying, why can't y'all put the public chat back in Clash of Clans? I have nothing to do with that. I am a commentator and a caster, and I have nothing to do with what happens in Clash of Clans. I heard global chat was kind of a nightmare. That's what it is. Rich, is Drew casting with you in 2021 CRL? Yep. Triruck, Rich, you have a girlfriend. I have a wife and a son. There you go. Not going to talk about how much money I make from this, but just to put it in context, esports and gaming overall is how I support my family. How can I bet on pro players? That's against terms of service. But there is going to be Fantasy Royale once again when CRL kicks off. So keep an eye out on that inside of your app. Royal Giant on that left-hand tower. Going to get a lot of damage here. NATO not going to do much for Razzer. I don't think he should have NATO'd there. I guess it did help and keep the tower from falling all the way down. But man, that NATO is maybe a little suspect. Let's see. What do I think is top ladder, Rich? Top ladder? Top 200. That's top ladder. Let's see. Who's your favorite player? You, Man3. You're my favorite player. Let's see. Anything else here? Where Mr. Slaton, where are you from? I live in Texas now. I used to live in California. I just moved to Texas a few months ago. Nah, you're a chill guy. I hope your job goes well, bro. It's been going very well. Like I said, I support my family off of the gaming universe. Off of casting, content creating, and producing, so ain't too bad. 320 on the left-hand side here for Razzer. Man, it's every single match has been bash and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Not totally the Tesla. I'm not 100% sure if it was the right call here from Razzer. Not that particular Tesla play, but the Tesla overall on the deck. GG, tower down left-hand side, and Razzer, I don't think he has enough in the tank to get this win here. The separation by the Fisherman there with the Giant Skeleton, and that should be the end. We're going to game number 3 here in a second. Man, no one getting it done easily today. It has been a battle. And a battle from top to bottom. We're going to game number 3 once more. All right, back to the chat here for a second. Rich, did you ever BM in Clash Royale? Of course. When someone else does it, it's absolutely wrong and should never be done. When I do it, it's justified. You know what I mean? Have you ever wanted to say something or tell a player to play something during commentary? I guess? I don't know how to answer that question, really. How do you pronounce your last name? Slaton. My name is Rich Slaton. There you go. Let's see. Any other questions here? Do I invest in stocks? Yes, I'm well invested. Not going to address that question, Team Serve, because don't want to bring that up on for the YouTube video. Coach Oak, why is your CRL co-caster not involved in casting the CR Tier 1 tournaments during the offseason? He's busy doing other stuff. There you go. What's your favorite emote? The wizard who does this. This is my favorite emote. Let's see. Do I play Clash of Clans? I used to, not anymore. What card do you want in? My favorite card is the Ice Golem. Hi, Rich. It's the Mayor. Hey, the Mayor. How are you, Avishai? Mashlamcha. Do players get their own emoji? Not that I know of. Game number 3 coming here in just a moment. You get paid for this. I support myself entirely off of gaming and primarily off of Clash Royale. So from casting, content creating, and producing. Expo nerfed too much. Expo needed to be put on the bench for a little while. A nerf, so Clash Royale will never vault cards, right? Like you might vault a gun in Fortnite, for example. So their version of vaulting something is nerfing it. And Expo needed to we needed a break from Expo for a little while. So there you go. Do we cast any other games? I've cast some Apex, some World Golf Tour. Is that it? I started off my commentary career as a mixed martial arts commentator for many years. What game do I play professionally? None. I do not play any games professionally. Do you guys hang out with the players and coaches off-air during CRL? Some of them, yeah. He now works with me over at AMG, but former Complexity Director of Mobile Gaming and manager for Complexity Esports, the Mobile Matt, and I would often go and get a bite to eat after CRL was done for the day. I've been out to dinner with, SK Gaming, and I've been out at the dinner before. Spent some time with the Immortals guys, then turned Space Station Gaming guys. I once had, in Season 1 of CRL, the TSM came to my house for dinner once. I made them all Indian food. Or no, maybe I made them shawarma that night. I can't remember if I made them shawarma or if I made them Indian food. So looking like GY here for Razzer in game number 3, and Daniel going with Giant Skeleton Clone. Very, very interesting. Not a player saying Heelspell got vaulted. Well, it got turned into something new. Apex is an awesome game. Yeah, I enjoy commentating it. Giant Skeleton left-hand lane sets the line high against the tank for the Graveyard, so the Graveyard will be unsupported here for Razzer. But Daniel may be being a bit overconfident there, not remembering that, hey, even if the Princess Tower's on it, look at all that damage. Overconfident defense there from Daniel. Massive miscalculation. And that gives the lead back to Razzer. What's my favorite Indian food? Korma. Lamb korma is probably my favorite. I make a good korma sauce that we put on chicken because Mrs. Slaton doesn't eat lamb. And again, setting the line high, this time with a lot more on defense, gives Daniel. And arrows on those archers. The cannon cart, a concern here for Razzer, but he gets his cannon cart down in defense. Daniel ahead on Elixir right now. And this Giant Skeleton is going to push pretty far into enemy territory. This is a good opportunity for a clone, and there you go. Right there comes the clone. Does he get past the bomb tower is the big question. And both the skeleton barrels pop a little bit early there, and Razzer comes out from that okay. As we go into the final 10 seconds of regulation, it is Razzer in the lead, 831 to 1077. But Daniel's starting to get some momentum his direction. Giant Skeleton left-hand lane. That Graveyard's going to get good damage here. Yes, it is. That Graveyard getting a ton of damage, and that should be enough. There you go. Fireball will come in next. GG, well played. Razzer gets his first match victory on the day as Daniel falls to 0-3. Big win there for Razzer, one of my longtime favorites in the Clash Royale community. Very, very cool pro player. Good guy. He always meant to throw a Frisbee together. He plays Ultimate as well, but never got a chance to, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the chat here as we wait for our final match of the day, which will be Chris Hart Lava versus Eternity. That's going to come your way in just a minute. Let me go ahead and take a look at some of this chat here. Where'd you get your headset? This headset is the Audio-Technica BPHS1. I ordered it myself, and you can get it on Amazon. It's about $200. There you go. Do your glasses protect against blue light? Yeah, that they do there, B-Man. Blue light safe. What time zone is this based off of? Well, I'm in Central Time Zone in the U.S. It right now is 3:25 for me. The production is based in Spain, though, so they're in European time. Let's see. They didn't vault the heal spell. They turned the heal spell into the heal spirit. Slight difference there. People talking about that. They turned it into something new. They reworked it tremendously. Maybe the best way to say that. What's your favorite esports org? I don't really have a favorite org. What do you think of potential 2v2 CRL? I love 2v2. I think it's probably dead competitively, though. But I think 2v2 is actually the better game mode. To be honest. The better and more difficult game mode. But CRL, at least for 2021, will be all solos. What's my favorite sport? Lots of different ways to think about that. To play, Ultimate Frisbee. To watch, mixed martial arts. Razzer plays Ultimate? Yeah. I played Ultimate for a few years in college and in high school, and I'm a season ticket holder to the Los Angeles Aviators. Of course, not right now. Although now that I'm moving to Austin, I might have to get some season tickets to the Austin Soul. Sorry for the question, kind of new here, says natural, but does Andrew show up here too? This is my channel. Andrew comes on occasionally, but, you know, he's pretty busy. But he might come in here and there. Favorite event that you've cast? Probably World Finals in 2019. Just because of being able to do it on home territory, the entire North American community able to come together. Of course, Surgical Goblin, Morton, 1 HP. How do you beat that? But I'll tell you one thing, Tokyo 2018 was a whole lot of fun. Fireball in, and Cannon Cart does connect. So Mags gets a bunch of damage on tower here against Boss. How are we on Magma and Boss? I must have totally miscalculated. I guess we have one more match after this one. I keep thinking that we're on our last match, but no, we're on Magma and Boss now. Chris saying, I already played against Eternity and 1-2-1. They haven't updated the standings. Okay, good to know. Oh, you already played that one. That was off stream here. Oh, Chris did win 2-1 against Eternity. Okay, so I guess this is the last one together. The last one of the day. McGregor or Poirier? Ugh, that's a hard one to answer. Oh, Magic Archer connects here for Magma on the left-hand side. Boss in a lot of trouble. Ram Rider in. Is the cage available? Cage does pick up. But Boss just getting housed right now. And that's going to be a GG. Magma takes game number 1. I got to give some credit to Boss here. Boss has talked about how he's not as good on camera or on stream as he is just playing. But still agreeing to go on cams for this event, I think, is a really cool thing. So, big shout out to Boss there for agreeing to be on cams. Which arena am I in Clash Royale? I'm in all of them. Whatever the legendary arena is. I don't know if I'm there right now. I'm at 5.4 right now-ish. And I'm going to try to do 6. I'm trying to go for 6K something this year, or this season. It's about where I try to finish around 6K each season. Let's see. That's a cool deck. Yeah. Different, interesting place for Battle Healer. I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like Battle Healer that much overall in the game, but it is what it is. She's in there, so you know, go ahead and do it. Let's see, guys. If you haven't yet, by the way. Oh, we're at 402 likes. Cool. Well, you know, if you haven't yet and you're here, go ahead and throw a like on the channel, and of course, subscribe. Are there any other? I respect your wrong opinion about 2v2. If you talk to pretty much anyone in competitive Clash Royale, like anyone who's actually in CRL, 2v2 is the more skillful game mode. Matchup matters much less in 2v2. Trying to work with a partner is so much harder than playing by yourself. 2v2 is the better game mode from a competitive standpoint. I love 2v2, and I wish that it wasn't going to still be around in 2021, competitively speaking, but it's not, so there you go. Rich wears sunglasses inside. Only on streams, guys. Only on stream. Other than that, they're not. I don't wear them. I don't like hang out in my house and wear sunglasses, but on stream, there we go. And here we go. Game number 2. Magma in the lead, Boss banning Tornado for this matchup. Looking like minor wall breakers for Boss, so the NATO ban makes sense. Is Clash Royale going to bring a 2v2 ladder? I don't think so. It's one of the most requested things, but I don't think that they believe that it would be that popular. So they're not planning on doing it as far as I know. It's heavily requested by people who are like hardcore into the game. But I don't think they believe that 2v2 ladder would actually end up being super popular with the overall player base. Yeah, Chris, I saw your chat. Chris saying he already played Eternity. You can check the clan chat. Yep. I can't check the clan chat because I'm not actually in the clan, but Chris did win against Eternity. So I believe Chris ends the day at 3-0. Have I ever cast B-Rad? Yes, when B-Rad was in CRL for 3 seasons. In 2018 and 2019, I cast many of B-Rad's matches. George Saliba, what's your full-time job? This is part of it. I am full-time a Clash Royale caster and content creator and a gaming/esports producer. So 2018 through 2020, primary job casting and commentating for Clash Royale with a little bit of content creation involved in it as well. And then as we move into 2021, I'm taking on bigger roles in production. Wall breakers down for Boss. Going to go ahead and just choose to eat all of that recruit damage. Magma way ahead right here. Joey Fairlow. Do you connect with Supercell at all or cast on your own? Joey, have you ever watched CRL? Have you ever watched the Clash Royale League in the last 3 years? Because if you've ever watched Clash Royale League, then you would have seen me there, since I am one of the 2 main casters for CRL. This is a rough matchup here for Boss. Because you think, oh, well, maybe he could outcycle this. But trying to get past Recruits, Cage, Barb Barrel, Zappies, Electro Spirit, just real rough. Pig split, Bomb Tower, trying to play some defense here. And that's going to be a flying machine, probably on tower. No, does take out 1 Spear Goblin and now does get on tower. Boss fighting back, though. Putting some good pressure on this right-hand side and gets 1 connection. So here we go, 1393 to 1219. Final 90 seconds of sudden death overtime. A loss here would not eliminate Boss, but it would make his journey very, very difficult. Barb does not swing on the left. That's good news for Boss here. Log to the left-hand lane, 1321. Final 70 seconds. Triple Elixir on its way. And smart move there by Mags to go to the right-hand lane with that Fireball, because he does want to try to do it the best he can to put the pressure over there and keep this fight away from the left-hand lane if possible. Zappies come out. They do not stop the Miner, though. Miner log just like that, 1153. We are still very, very close. Less than 100 HP separating these two. 3-3 split one more time from Magma. Miner goes into the back. And man, this whole board is so filled up right now. Boss needs to use the Fireball there on the flying machine, but then Pigs will come right behind it. Barb Barrel to the right-hand side, 908 to 961. Flying machine high one more time. Pigs into the bomb tower. Second bomb tower down. Fireball has to come out for Boss. No, instead he goes and picks up with the Knight, meaning he can use that Fireball offensively if he wishes to, which could be critical. Is there another Fireball on defense? No, goes bomb tower on defense. This is actually huge for Boss. Great, great sequence by Boss to not play Fireball on defense. Brilliant, brilliant play, and he's going to go ahead and win game number 2 and keep that dream alive. Using the Knight to pick up the flying machine on the right-hand side there rather than the Fireball. Getting back around to the bomb tower one more time. Great gameplay by Boss there. And we're going to game number 3. Let's go. Let's look at chat here for a minute. Who needs fair weather fans, says Mance Raider. I still really like Boss. He's one of the best ladder players. Yeah, you're either a fan of someone or you're not. If you're only a fan of someone when they're winning, you're not really a fan. You're just some guy. What brand are those glasses? Asks Kemper Ackerman. Gooders. These are my jams. Game number 3 on its way here, folks. What a day it's been. What a day it's been. Very, very excited. How did I get into casting in general? I've told the story before. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go on YouTube here. And Razzer did I did his podcast one time. There's a video of it. Let me go ahead and copy this. If you want to know the story of how I got into casting, there it is in the chat. Let me go ahead and... Man, why is that hotkey not working? Weird. There it is in the chat if you want to know how I got into casting. I told the entire story on Rosé's podcast. So there's a link to it for those of you who want to know about it. Let's look at the chat here for a second. Did I miss anything important? Oh, it went in there twice. Rich, do you edit too? Yeah, I edit my own videos. There you go. Have I spoken to Supercell? Says Austin. About what? Anything? I mean, about anything in particular? Am I in front of a green screen? Yes, this is a green screen. How fast can you speak? Much more quickly than I've been doing here. I'm slowing it down for y'all. Minor the ban here from Magma, so no minor wall breakers. Rich, you could walk some Oakleys. No, I couldn't. I don't wear Oakleys. What is this, 1996? And have I spoken to Supercell? About anything in particular? I speak with people at Supercell fairly often. You should be an auctioneer. I prefer caster. Am I friends with any competitive players? Yeah, many, as I've been involved in the league for many years. Can you rap? Not on this stream. Here we go. Game number 3, Magma versus Boss. Hopefully they show us the standings on the right-hand side here in a minute. Royal Giant down for Boss. Cage in response. Zappy's behind. Boss with 3 on the board. Magma 2 ahead in the Elixir Collector. So Boss up by 1 for the moment. And does have the ever so slight damage lead with a little chip on both lanes. Very slow play so far from these two. Manuel, to answer your question, bans are global. They are universal, meaning both players are banned from using a banned card. Where's Joshua Sharon? Probably in Sacramento. Royal Giant on the right-hand side. Hunter behind. Mega Knight in response to the RG. 15-18. Good connection. And it is Magma's Fisherman that wins that fight. But Boss still going to defend very well here. Oh, man. Skeletons just pile up. The Hunter being a little bit too far. And just like that, Magma back in the lead. Mega Knight gets pulled by the Fisherman. Zappy's down low, so Fisherman stun locked on the left-hand side. Bar Barrel goes to work against it. I think Magma comes out ahead on this one, though. Does have more on the board and more in the hole. Graveyard should come behind this. Mega Knight, no, gets stopped at the bridge by the Giant Skeleton. Good poison value here for Magma on the Hunter and on the Fisherman. And now the Mega Knight might get a leap here. Zappies have to come out to control. We are in sudden death overtime. And only 90 seconds left. Magma starting to pull ahead here. Mega Knight down. Bar Barrel in response. This graveyard pressure is relentless right now. And Magma calling good game here. GG. Well played. Magma takes the 2-1 win. And Boss in a lot of trouble so far in this tournament. GG. Well played. And I believe that's it on the day. We should have our standings here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat here for a minute. Nothing else. I'm wondering if you're like affiliated with Supercell or if anyone within the league is. I mean, I'm in the creator program. I speak with Supercell people a lot. I'm not a Supercell employee per se, but I'm fairly affiliated through Clash Royale. I don't really know exactly how to answer that question. But yes, I know people and speak with Supercell often about various Clash Royale and esports-related things, especially being one of the casters for CRL. Let's see. FaZe saying peace out. Good to see you, FaZe. Hard with the pressure of the cams. Yeah, I think Boss in particular, I think that he has trouble with he's mentioned before that playing on stream on camera does put more pressure on him. So certainly a difficult situation for him, but thanks for him for playing on cameras. It does give an extra bit of panache to the stream. We'll see what Boss says. And Mansrider saying he'll address his mistakes in an upcoming YouTube video. Probably. That's definitely Boss's style. Update YouTube profile with these glasses. I'm wearing sunglasses in my YouTube profile pictures. Like change the color, you mean? I call Rich. New name will be Shades Rich. There you go. I don't know why everyone keeps asking about my middle name, but okay. Let's see. Rich, did Boss finish today? Let's go ahead. This is the end of the day, guys. So here are the standings so far. Chris Lava is 4-0. Most likely has qualified now for the next stage. So congratulations, Chris. Magma with that win goes to 3-1. Will most likely just need one more match victory to go all the way through. We'll see if he can. StarWars at 2-1 and Han the Eternal, a.k.a. Eternity, rounding out the top 4 for the moment. Razzer and Greg both at 1-2. Boss falls to 1-3. And Daniel at 0-3. So Boss and Daniel, neither one of them eliminated yet, but will most likely need to win out in order to stay in the mix for breaking in from the group stage into the regional finals. There are more matches for this group, but they will be played in a few days when we come back to Group C's Day 2 of their group action. This is the group stage. Tomorrow we are going to be back here, same time, same place, with our Group D action. Group D is going to be tomorrow. Again, that's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's Aw Crap, CR Sucks, Hazard, Sandalia, So Rob, J Skippy, The Juicy One, and Cheesecake. That's going to be it for today's stream, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed it tremendously. I had a great time with you. We'll be back here again tomorrow. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications so that you don't miss any of the Bren Chong Cup 2 right here on youtube.com/Rich Slaton, the most fun place for Clash Royale esports. Thanks for watching. See you mañana. Take care.